What's going on, Giants fans? Welcome back to another episode of G Nation. And today I have a very special live call-in episode, breaking down the 53-man roster, talking with some other content creators, some great guys, some great Giants fans who always call in and support the channel whenever I do a live stream or whenever I make a video. So I'm excited to talk to you guys today about uh, some of the surprising cuts and some of the not so surprising cuts, and just basically how this 53-man roster has shaped up. Also, the two trades, the picks that we're going to get in return for one of those trades. So, a lot of things to look up and optimistic for. A lot of people are like, oh my God, the offensive line is going to explode this whole team. The team ain't going to be worth nothing. Um, you got to remember, all these guys are young, and okay, sorry about that. These guys are young. They haven't had much time in pads and live action working together. Also, we had two unexpected players retire. I've got to turn this down. We had two unexpected players retire, two veterans. So I hear a lot of people saying that the Giants are in panic mode, making these two trades so early, so quick, um, before the season starts, and they must really be panicking after the preseason game, week three preseason game. Um, I don't really think it's a panic. I think they wanted to see exactly what they had with who they had out there, made their decisions based on what they saw, and they're moving accordingly. You know, acquiring assets to try to put together with this team. Now, if you know anything about football, you knew that we were not going to come out of the gate going 3-0 and just bashing everybody. You knew that this offensive line was going to take some time to gel, regardless of who was in there, because that's a group of guys who have to learn how to move collectively and work as a unit cohesively. So it wasn't going to be a week one come out and bash everybody type of thing from the beginning. If you know football, you knew it wasn't going to be that. It was going to be a gradual pickup. Will be, maybe 1-2, 2-2, and then you'll see this line start to come together, and Saquon hitting them holes and them creating gaps and blocking uh, in the next phase of the blocking. So with that being said, um, before I start taking callers, I want to touch on the subject of Ifeadi Adenabo getting cut. Now, this is a guy that I was extremely excited about. I thought he was going to have great upside, and Patrick Graham was going to be able to turn him from a defensive end into an outside linebacker, standing up, not with his finger in the dirt. And so that came as a shock to me that he didn't make the cut. Also, I hear a lot of people saying David Sills, we should have kept Sills. Uh, yeah, Sills was pretty good in the preseason games. He showed some dependability, reliability, if nothing else. But remember, he was doing that against the twos and the threes. Um, and with the depth that we have at wide receiver, it just wasn't feasible to keep him. Now, if he survives the waiver wise, I I think we'll bring him back to the practice squad if nothing else. So if in the event somebody gets injured, we can bring him up from the practice squad and activate him to the roster. He'll pretty much know the playbook and he'll fit right in. But pretty much knew he wasn't going to make the team. CJ Board contributes in special teams and returns, and Dante Pettis seems to be more of a fit than David Sills. But nevertheless, he would be a good depth piece if for the practice squad, nothing else, for whenever, God forbid, we have any injuries. But also uh, the trading of BJ Hill. Now BJ Hill has been around for a few years now. I think 5 6 seasons with us. He came in with Dalvin Tomlinson, if I'm not mistaken. They were both part of that same draft class. Um, I was shocked to see him traded, but uh, we needed an offensive lineman, Billy Price. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just excited overall. Um, Not gonna be a pessimist. I think Joe Judge knows what he's doing. I do feel that we should have addressed the offensive line in the draft. Um, the Kadarius Tony pick, I did like it, but that wouldn't have been my pick. I wanted an offensive lineman, um, Ben Cleveland, uh, Elijah Vera Tucker. Uh, I knew Rashawn Slater wasn't going to be there for us, but there was other guys there that we could have took as opposed to Kadarius Tony. Now I'm not knocking Kadarius Tony, uh, but I'm gonna need him to get on the field and make some noise because so far we haven't seen too much from him in training camp, in preseason. You know, uh, basically the kid hasn't been on the field. But I hope he does well. I hope the whole team does well. I'm still optimistic for the season. I think Joe Judge is going to put it together. My only concern still, aside from the offensive line taking some time to gel, is Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett does not know how to use Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones need to be bootlegging, rolling out. Um, Pat Shermer wasn't the best head coach, but he knew how to use Daniel Jones. He got the best out of Daniel Jones. Um, but with that being said, I'm gonna take some callers. We have a special guest who's supposed to be calling in, so I'm not gonna do like we usually do and have like 10 callers on here yelling at each other, uh, arguing about Jimmy Garoppolo and things of that nature. But thank you guys for popping in the stream. Jaden the Champ, I see you. Uh, Adam Costas, Big Miz supposed to be doing the show with me. Uh, I don't know where he at, but let my boy Zion on the stream. What's going on, Zion?
What's Gucci fam? Thanks for having me on. Let's get it. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Is it on me? I think my mic is unmuted on my end. With Gucci, right? There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, let's get it. What's Gucci fam?
What's going on, brother? Thank you for popping in the stream.
Oh
Always
yeah,
supporting the channel, man.
absolutely. Thanks for having me on, bro. It's talking about that 53 tonight. I was surprised. I like the way you broke it down because you kind of answered my question. Because like I was surprised when Stills didn't make the roster, but then when you brought up a good point about special teams and stuff like that, that does make a good solid point. So I hear you on that. One thing I was kind of shocked about too, how Sam Bill made the roster. I mean, like, what do you think that they see in him for him to make the roster? Because the last time I checked, like that man was, he was injured for the last 2 seasons. Then he had COVID. He opted out last season. So to I think our defensive backs units is loaded. You know what I'm saying? And why do you think that? Why do you think the reason was behind keeping Sam Bill?
Well, I think the upside for Sam Bill, for us, for the Giants, was much
Mm,
better than Marjorie Harper and Isaac Yadam, obviously, who got
mm,
traded. And so I believe they wanted to give him some more time to see what he can actually do, given some live action now that he's actually healthy and can step on the field. We've already seen what Marjorie Harper does, wasn't too
mm.
good. Also, Aaron Robinson is on the PUP list, so he won't be out there for a few weeks. So in the event that Julian Love or Darnay Holmes go down or something like that, and Adoree Jackson still has the sprained ankle,
That's true.
so you want to keep your backfield, your defensive back, as thick as you can, because this is a passing league and people are doing all types of spread offenses and trips right and trips left, and so you got to make sure you have enough defensive backs out
That's
there
true.
to protect the field and keep from them big plays happening on you.
I feel you. I feel you. Hell yeah. I just want to call in and support. I started a new job, so my schedule been kind of messy, but slowly adjusting to it, and we got to do something for sure. Obviously, we're doing something now, but we got
Forrest,
to do
thank you,
something for
brother.
sure. Um, let's get it. So we keep. I'm looking at the 53. I can share my screen if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's get it. I can break this down. You'll be there in 5 minutes. Let's get it. So it looks like we keep two quarterbacks in Mike Glennon and Daniel Jones. I think that's good enough in the sense, like, God forbid Daniel Jones go down, and then God forbid Mike Glennon goes down. We have Kadarius Toney that played quarterback. We have, I believe, another player on our roster played quarterback too, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's just be clear. I do not want.
No, yeah. I'm sorry. Like, really,
New York Football Giants.
No, absolutely
if that
not.
happens, we are in a very bad spot.
God forbid. I don't mean to go that directly there, but like I'm really I really took this breaking it down to the T. I'm sorry. Like, let's not go that deep. Hell yeah. Then we got our offensive lineman, our running backs, our receivers. We keep 3 tight ends. I kind of projected Caden Smith, Evan Ingram, and Rudolph to make the roster. Then we got our defensive linemen. I was talking to Logan about this. I wouldn't say impressed, but I enjoyed watching David Moore. I enjoyed watching David Moore in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was against third stringers and second stringers, but surprised. Like, I guess he's still a developing player, so I understand the reason for dropping him, because I think all the defensive line players that they kept, they have a reason for keeping them. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with Danny Shelton performing in practice, when I'm watching those training camp videos and stuff like that. So, and he's a veteran, you know what I'm saying? We got Dexter Lawrence, he's young. Obviously, Leo, you know what I'm saying? So, I think the defensive line's good, and then you go look at our defensive backs, like you just got done explaining, you never know, and our linebackers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's up.
Well, see, you got to remember, too, some of these guys weren't just auditioning to be on our team. They were putting film.
Exactly.
They were putting plays on film for the 31 other teams as well. There's going to be 31 other teams making cuts and have to be down to 53-man roster today. So, they can always move guys around to the practice squad and sign somebody else or put somebody on IR if necessary. Just heard about Shane Lemieux. Shane Lemieux has a partially torn patella tendon. You see? So that's Victor Cruz's career was over because of a torn patella tendon. It completely tore off. That's the tendon that covers your kneecap, that connects your shin bone to your thigh bone. So he has a slight tear in there, and he's going to try to play through it. Not going to happen. He's going to get hurt immediately. And they know it, which is why they went and got 2 more offensive linemen, and they'll more than likely be picking up another offensive lineman before week 1. So, a lot of these guys will be moved to the IR or practice squad, and you can always shuffle and move players around as needed.
Exactly.
So
plus, too, we can pick up on waivers too. You know what I'm saying? If we can claim people's other, like how you
other teams,
right? And then if our players don't get claimed, we can always sign them back to the practice squad. If you do want to go that route.
Right. So I mean, there's a lot of potential players out there that we can pick up. There's still some moves that we can make. So why are people telling me they're backstage? Oh, I couldn't even see you guys.
What's up, Adam?
Hold on. Adam, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Lou? Zion, how's it going, fellas?
Nate, what's going on? Jaden, Logan, what's going on, fellas? I appreciate you popping in. I'm gonna pop y'all in a second. Adam,
what are you guys talking about?
Well, we're talking about the 53-man roster and who got cut and who didn't make it. Some of the surprises, some of the guys we knew were going to get cut and who we thought was going to be on and got cut.
What's your thoughts on the 53?
Once my thoughts, it's pretty interesting. I like Raymond Johnson. I thought we all agreed that guy was pretty interesting to make the team. Being that he was an undrafted rookie free agent, and the fact that he made it over B.J. Hill is pretty amazing. I like what the Giants did, and I told people before, and I know people are going to come on here later and say, yeah, we need linemen. They made their tinkering right now, right? We may not agree with it. We may not want it. We may not like every pick that they made, in this trade, but I like what they're doing.
Well,
I wonder who's going to be IR
me.
tomorrow
Sorry,
or in the next day or two. Like John Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be IR'd? Will we know that? Because they're going to bring other people in, like Lou said. Right? You make the roster right now, and
It
doesn't mean you make the roster right
Yeah.
now. That's all.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't think you made the roster until someone said it, until you handed your first check.
Right. I mean, even then, there's still 2 weeks.
Even
where
then,
you can change guys up, right?
That's true. That's true. We see it all the time.
Well, they have that guaranteed money thing, right? If you get signed before week 1, you get your guaranteed full season money if you get cut, right?
Mhm.
After week 2, you can bring anybody and they don't get their guaranteed money. So we could still see players like that. Plus, I heard there's a short-term IR, which is, I guess, after 3 weeks or something like that, you can bring a guy back. So that's going to be interesting to see. I hear Shane Lemieux has a partially torn patella tendon. Why wouldn't you put him on that short-term IR? Why would you play that guy week 1? Right? That's kind of dumb, to me. They're like, oh, he can play through it, but what if he blows it out? It takes one guy to chop.
Now his career's over. Yep.
Right. So for the short-term IR and look at the guys they picked up, a couple guards, right? You would think maybe that's the route they might head with that guy. CJ Board, I could do without. He doesn't really do anything for me. Doesn't really move the needle. He will probably be one of the guys cut. I think John Ross, if they're bringing in Nate Ebert or something like that, probably could be IR'd on the short term. I wonder what Kadarius Toney's doing. And Evan Ingram, like, we don't know anything about his injury. And it's kind of weird because if it was not a hard injury, you'd think they'd hear something, right? If it wasn't that serious, I think they would have told you, oh, it's nothing. So I'm wondering what is going on behind the scenes.
They said the same thing with Shane Lemieux, and now we find out it's a slightly torn patella tendon. So,
right. So I mean, like, what does that mean for Evan Ingram?
It could be a high ankle sprain.
Right. You never know with these players, right? It's kind of competition. I'm sure they're not going to divulge much because they want the Broncos to, game plan for Evan Ingram. So they're not going to reveal too much. I mean, I like it. I'm waiting for the 16 practice squad players. I want to see who snuck through, who didn't sneak through, what guys they may bring in because they need to bring in a tackle, right?
I can't believe Afadi Adenabo didn't make the team.
That's a surprising cut for me too, because they gave him money.
B.J. Hill got traded. He didn't get cut.
Right. So it's interesting that B.J. Hill. Well, what I'm saying is what I meant for B.J. Hill and Raymond Johnson is that they traded him because Raymond Johnson could take his place. They basically valued Raymond Johnson better than B.J. Hill.
B.J. Hill's been here. I think this is his 5th year, so they was gonna have to pay him.
Right,
and Mrs. Backstage. Sorry, it's on Mrs. Backstage.
That's what I wanted to bring up because a lot of these guys they brought on with these O linemen, they have longevity, right? Billy Price is a 1st-round pick. He'll have a 5th-year option next year if he does well, right? If he sucks, you can tell him to hit the bricks. The other kid they just got, I couldn't read the name, but I think it's Brandon Bierman or something like that. He came from the Ravens. I got to trust the Ravens scouting staff because they're a good team that if they're going to trade for a guy, they obviously were going to keep him on the roster, to develop him. So, I mean, you got to look at where they got the linemen. I know people wanted linemen. Miz is going to tell you he's been blowing up my phone all day about how he's wanted linemen since day one, from draft. I mean, this guy talks to me every day. I feel like I got to charge my battery just because Miz is blowing my phone up. The old lineman fucking texts all day, every day. But they got the linemen. He and I agree about that. I said a couple streams ago they were going to pick up guys at this time, right? And here that's what they're doing. They got a couple quality guys that were better than Joe Looney and Zach Fulton, right? Those are the 2 guys they technically replaced, right?
Basically,
they got younger and they got they got more potential.
Well, according from what I hear, this Billy Price guy didn't allow no quarterback pressures or no QB hits. So
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
That seems good to feel good about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I blew up Adam's phone. I blew up Lou's phone tonight. Took him on a jog with me. Hey, you know what it is. You know what we're worried about. It's the only thing that could hold us back from having a big season. I'm not saying it's going to, but it's definitely somewhat of a concern after what we saw the last, two. It's preseason. I get it, but
as for you,
I do believe we'll get better as we go. But I don't want it to take 8 weeks and ruin our season.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Look. I'm not disagreeing with you on the O lineman. I want an O lineman as well, right? Judge made the call with Gettleman to draft Tony. Okay, Judge made the call to pass on Slater and all the other linemen that we see. However, when you look at it, what they did right now, and they're still not finished, because you make the 53, like we spoke about. This is not your guarantee to make that 53. So there could be a couple more moves in place. But they got 2 young guys. They got a guy who was a 4th-round draft pick, and they got a guy who was a 1st-round pick. Whether or not he was on the Bengals, he was drafted in the 1st round for a reason, right? And somebody saw that he was a potential to do well. Now, why he didn't make the Bengals, I wouldn't make the Bengals. Okay, listen, they're a poorly run organization. If I got drafted there, I'd probably be depressed like he was. He also had some injuries that derailed him. I mean, listen, his ego probably was injured because he got drafted by the Bengals. He's like, oh shit, here we go. So I mean, now he comes to New York where there's a little bit more prestige, a little bit more expected out of you. Let's see what happens. Maybe he gets a kick in the ass. Maybe he becomes something. I don't know. But the fact that they've done something, Gettleman didn't sit back and say, hey, Ted Larson, good job. You're going to collect that fucking check, you bum. No, he didn't. He said, get out of here, hit the road, take the next bus out of town. I'm bringing in these young guys. So I got to give Dave Gettleman some credit.
Yeah, and you kind of gotta like I wasn't really panicking when after that Patriots game because we seen Daniel Jones move the ball. Like outside of the interception, he had a pretty decent game. Like, yeah, the offensive line could have done a way better job, and that is a concern. But at the end of the day, he did have some time. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, too, you got to believe in this coaching staff. I believe, like I said in my video earlier, it's like the defense played strong. We do have a strong defense. It shows up on the field. It's not only on paper; it's showing up on the field. Hopefully, everything goes good. Denver's going to be a really tough game, right? So hopefully our defense is going to be needing to carry us for the first couple of weeks. We got Denver, then we got Washington, then we got Atlanta. And if you think about it, like with the way the offensive line plays, it's going to take longer. Like what I did like is, if you go look about what's up classified, if you look back at it, we had a really bad game against the Jets. Then we came out pretty good against the Browns. And that was a pretty good week of, of practice, of execution, seeing it from the practice onto the field. So now if you take a look, like now we got a week and a half until the regular season. It's, just believe in this coaching staff. Don't hit that panic button. Be concerned, of course, but don't hit that panic button. Believe in this coaching staff. Believe that they'll get it together, and hopefully our defense will not necessarily carry us because we did have good time of possession in the Patriots game, but be there for us, be a balanced team for the first couple of weeks while we try to figure this out.
I just want
That's what I have to say.
Touch on the Jones thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jones is such a headache, all right, because he makes that great play to Caden Smith, but then he does the bonehead play to the interception. And if you look at the game, I know it's only preseason, but if you look at the game, right, there are 3 plays that could have won them the game. If Darius Slayton catches that pass, right, there's a possible field goal potential there. If Graham Gano doesn't miss the field goal, there's a win there. And if they score the touchdown in the red zone, they win the game. That's been the story of the Giants season last season, and it's playing out in the preseason. That's what I'm concerned about. The other thing I'm concerned about
absolutely.
is Jason Garrett running reverse inside of a 2-minute drill. How are you going to run a 2-minute drill, a 2-minute offense,
Adam.
and you run your first play is a reverse? What are you doing? You better reverse your jersey and get the hell out of the freaking stadium, you idiot. What do you think this is the Cowboys trying to sabotage the season?
My main concern with this whole team is Jason Garrett. That's been my whole concern since the man got hired. Now look, I'm trying to be optimistic and hope that maybe Joe Judge takes the reins or gives Freddie Kitchens more responsibilities or Russ Callaway or something.
They ran that play 3 times in the preseason.
Meantime,
3 different guys.
I know, but see, this is what I think. I think Joe Judge is holding everything close to the chest.
I hope so, because
that he wasn't trying to win a preseason game. I think given the fact that we only had 3 preseason games as opposed to the normal 4, he knew that he had limited time to see these guys in live action and pads and see what they were really made of. So I believe that he treated those games as a true evaluation of the people he had on his team and made the best decisions that he could with the time that he had allotted to him. So I think that he really wasn't trying to win. He tried to see who fit the scheme, who was versatile enough to do the things that they were asking of them. And based on that, he made his assessment, made his decision. And now you see him making the next step of the protocol to hire people and fit those spots that we have voids at. That's
if we're gonna go down that road, then he should fire Jason Garrett for being an idiot for running a reverse inside of 2 minutes for a hurry.
I don't think he has that power yet. I think he has to have a winning season this year to where they'll give him a little more power where he can fire Jason Garrett and hire the coordinator that he likes. I think Jason Garrett was forced on him, given that he was the first-time head coach. He had never been a head coach in college neither. So I think they wanted to put as many people with head coach experience around him to assist him wherever he lacked. So I think he has maybe another season of Jason Garrett, unless Jason Garrett completely drops the ball in mid-season and they have to shit can him. But I think they have his backup plan in Freddie Kitchens and Russ Callaway.
I mean, they better hope so, man, because I'm not sitting here watching the 31st ranked offense piss away that great defense, because that's what's going to happen. Okay, that defense, look what Blake Martinez did in a preseason game with Cam Newton, right? Dropping back into that zone, making that play. And then what does the offense do? They go and shit the bed. Okay, that can't happen if you want to win football games. You know, Daniel Jones can't have his diaper crapped in every time there's, a rollout, right? And don't throw it to a spot. All he had to do was throw the ball into the stands. I would have lived with that. Hell, even fall over and get tackled. There, you save 3 points. It's those boneheaded mistakes that he's made for the first 3 years that are concerning to me. If he threw that play away and they scored 3 points and they still lost the game, even though it's preseason, I'd be like, all right, we've matured. But then all of a sudden he comes back in the next drive and all of a sudden throws a pass and you're like, oh, maybe we'll keep the guy, right? But that's been the story of Daniel Jones. We need to see him not make those boneheaded plays because people can have turnovers, right? Tip balls, things are going to happen. It's the costly ones that give up points in the red zone or drive clinching things. Those are the ones that are killer. I can deal with a Hail Mary interception, or you throw it deep to Slayton one time and the guy picks it off and he gets tackled inside the 20. I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is you not putting the points on the board inside the 50-yard line. Just unacceptable after a turnover.
Yeah, I think obviously because of the preseason game in the regular season, we would be much angrier about that. But I don't think that would have been the play in a regular season game if you have Barkley in your backfield on the goal line. No. And also Jones would have took off over there. He would have ran right across the goal line or fell over. But listen, I know what Adam's saying. It's a bad throw, and he's got to cut this type of stuff out already in this. What is it?
You can't.
But this is a dress rehearsal
across your body. You have to stop.
This is a dress rehearsal
when you're throwing across your body.
Right. This is a dress rehearsal. When you go to a play and you watch the play, they've practiced that the night before, so they're flawless on that play, right? This guy is a dress rehearsal. He's, earned the right not to play in 2 preseason games. He comes out and this happens. Like, those are the type of mental errors you can't have in a dress rehearsal game. I just can't have that. The Denver Broncos have a better front seven right now on the 2 edges. That defense is pretty good for the Patriots, but that front seven that's coming in, those 2 guys, Von Miller looks like he's in Hall of Fame form. And I do not want to be Andrew Thomas or Matt Pert and have to line up against that guy, and he's having one of his Hall of Fame days. Because I guarantee you this, if that happens, it's going to be a struggle to win the football game.
I tell you what, I saw somebody on NFL Network yesterday, I believe it was, and they put up the defensive ends that the Giants were going to be facing all the way until week 10.
Yes, I saw that. NFL Live.
Yeah, and when I looked at the names of those defensive ends that we're going to be facing in the first 9 weeks, this O-line is going to have to get it together, and they're going to have to get it together fast.
Right, and that's
if
why
we
I
want
say,
a chance at playoff contention. I'm
see,
still
I like
optimistic, but they're going to have to step it up and fast.
See, I like the defense, and I'm sorry I'm taking
Absolutely.
up your guys' airtime. It's Zion Newspeak. I'm sorry, I spoke.
Oh no, yeah, I just said absolutely. Continue.
No, I'm just saying the defense I like, but let's be honest, it's no Ravens defense of 2000. It's no Tampa Bay defense of 2002. It's not going to win you as many football games as that. There's going to be times where they give up points, and it's a matter of this offense being mediocre. Mediocre. It's got to be like 15. You know, not even top 10, maybe even 20. Get 11 spots up, so the team has a chance to win the football game. Right? Daniel Jones can't just be, Daniel Jones. He's got to make sure that he spreads it around. And when you miss the play to Booker, where they design a play for you to get the ball out of your hands, those are things I need him to do, because you can't take sacks in that position. You're going to get hit. They're going to be free rushers. This is football. This is a chess game, right? Sometimes you're going to make the wrong check. The guy's going to miss the wrong block, but you got to make the right play.
Everybody has to do their job, bottom line, and they're going to have to do it well. Welcome, Jaden Champ, to the stream. What's going on, Jaden?
None.
I am curious on your thoughts about Corey Clement. I'm not making the team. I thought he played pretty well in the preseason to at least earn a spot, or at least get traded to the Ravens, who need a running back.
Rig, why cover yourself?
No one's got any thoughts?
Sorry, I just looking at Rick.
I can only do 6.
What up?
Hey,
What's going on? What's going on, fellas? Appreciate you popping in the stream.
I've been waiting, man.
one thing I wanted to say was about Garrett. I love that style of offense, that old school play action, take your shots down the field when we have Galladay. That's why we brought him here. Run the ball, play action. We have 3 tight ends now. You know what kind of offense he's going to run. It's an old school physical offense. Again, it's going to come down. You really need your O-line to get better for it to work. Because if the O-line don't get better, then everyone's going to blame Garrett. But, how's it going to work?
But actually, there's cause to blame Garrett, because we had an even worse offensive line with Pat Shurmur. And Pat Shurmur was able to get the most out of Daniel Jones, because he rolled him out, he bootlegged him, and he RPO'd him sometimes.
There you go.
Yeah, but we were terrible, man.
Daniel Jones is a mobile.
Don't get me going here. We were terrible
reason
under Sherman.
That's the whole reason that they got rid of Eli and put him in there, was because he was supposedly a mobile quarterback. The one thing that Eli wasn't good at, right? So they shit-canned Eli early instead of sitting him down on the bench and letting him learn under Eli, right? Because they listened to the fan base instead of listening to common sense and logic, because the kid would have been better served sitting behind Eli for a year or 2.
I think that was a job-saving move, to be honest. He needed to save his job. Definitely. Because he could have easily, if he had clout with the organization, he could have easily sat the kid and let him come in when they were out of the playoffs. He knew that the team needed a spark, and he was like, if I go down with this shit, I'm going to go down with Daniel Jones, right? As opposed to going down with Eli and then getting shit canned, and then you're like, well, I didn't even get to play my guy.
True, but even still, he knew how to use Daniel Jones. I think Patrick Garrett doesn't know how to use him. He tries to make him a pocket passer, and he's more of a rollout, bootleg, buy time, and make things happen with your feet quarterback.
Well, it's just Garrett needs to see this. I mean, if he doesn't see it, then I can't blame Jones for him not calling that play. You know what I mean? I can only blame Jones so much. It's like a conversation I had on another podcast with somebody else about Sam Darnold and how he did not blame Sam for everything. And I said half of the problem was Gase, half the problem was Sam, right? So now we're going to find out who the real issue was. And with Daniel Jones, we got to find out if it's really Daniel Jones or if it's the play callers, because Pat Shurmur built an offense around Daniel Jones. Jason Garrett's building an offense around Saquon Barkley. And so when you make Saquon Barkley the featured player, that's why you hope guys like Tony play, because you need a playmaker. Nobody scares the Giants. Nobody scares anybody on offense for the Giants except for Barkley. I mean, you can say Shepard, but you cover him. Okay, who's left? And don't tell me Ingram. Please don't tell me Ingram, because I don't lose sleep when that guy plays. Okay.
Well, if you have a whole healthy Galladay, that could be a threat.
Kyle
Well, that's
Rudolph
what I'm
in the
saying.
end zone for sure. Kyle Rudolph in the end zone. Nobody wants to go up against him.
But last year they had nobody. And what I'm saying is these guys got to produce. Right now, it's all talk. I haven't seen Galladay play a down, and we may not see him play a down, first week. Once he gets there, let's see how this changes the dynamic of the offensive line, right? Because now you have Barkley. Maybe.
Again, I believe, sorry to interrupt you, but I believe Joe Judge is playing it close to the chest. I think that he's not showing anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's trying to really, because he knows that everybody's looking at him. Oh, he comes from the Belichick tree. He's going to do this or he's going to do that. He's his own man. He also comes from the Nick Saban tree. You know what I'm saying? So I believe he's trying to mesh the two and take everything he's learned and be the best Joe Judge he can be. And he's trying to keep everything quiet and in-house, and he's going to let you see it when they line up and punch you in the face.
We're going for Denver.
Right.
I'm ready, boys. I'm ready. I'm jacked through the roof. A little talk about Jason Garrett's not going to stop me. The little redheaded stepchild. I will. What I will say is this: is that I'm excited for the season. I know it's going to go down, and I know he's playing it close to the vest. That's why he's not putting in Galladay. That's why he's not putting in Tony. I mean, let's be honest. If these guys are really healthy, and I saw Tony in one of these highlight videos standing around in his pads, so you can't really be that hurt if you're on the field standing around with your pads on. I mean, it's not like he was holding them. We've all been there if we played football. If you're really hurt, you're in the trainer room. If you're not hurt, you're on the field, and they're kind of keeping you out. You're still out there, right? So I'm wanting to see what happens.
I also think Russ Callaway and Freddie Kitchens are actually sitting down in the kitchen and cooking up some plays specifically for these players. Because if you remember in Joe Judge's first press conference, he said he evaluates players different. He don't want you to tell them what they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's not going to look at them as a wide receiver or a halfback, a running back, a tight end. He's going to look at them as what athletic abilities they have. And then he said it's our job as coaches to get the best out of them and put them in a position to make plays for us. So I think that he's been evaluating what Kadarius Toney is good at as an athlete, Kenny Galladay as an athlete, some of the undrafted, some of the trades, some of the draft picks, and some of the free agency players that we've picked up, and evaluating what they're good at, and then telling the guys, okay, now go draw me up some plays that fit their ability.
I mean, case in point is Cam Brown playing gunner. I mean, if that's not evaluating your talent and putting a guy where you think he can do well, I don't know what is, man. 230-pound man, 6'6", running down, probably screaming at the top of his lungs. I mean, if you play football, you know them gunners are crazy. They're just screaming, like just
trying to
letting out the most bad.
Take your focus off the ball.
Exactly. And he's going to lace it. I know that when I was a punt returner, if I saw a guy like Cam Brown coming down, I'm fair catching every single time. I'm like, I'm not even going to let that guy hit me. Not even going to let that guy hit me. Because if I do, he's probably gonna break me in half. So,
how about, I was talking to Pat earlier. Lou, after I spoke to you, I went and bothered Pat. I called him up. I made sure he was alive and he didn't get swallowed by the ocean down in.
He's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, he's there, but he didn't move. He moved there, but he still has stuff back in Louisiana.
That's what I figured. He was making trips back and forth, bringing stuff.
He said his neighborhood was made it through all right, but he doesn't have his computer in order to get on streams right now. He'll get it in the next week or so. But
we better. We need him.
I know. But what about?
Shout to Big Pat, man.
You could always scheme for the O-line. You could always do a 7-man blocking scheme with the fullback and Smith, the tight end. You could keep them in if it's that bad.
But what playmaker you're taking off the field?
Everybody knows that when your offensive line can't block straight up, then you need them to pull to the left or pull to the right to create some time for the quarterback to roll out and dump off to a little check down, a screen pass, or maybe somebody gets open in the middle of the field or blows the top off. Hopefully, John Ross can be that guy.
If they're competent enough.
Be that guy. But until this line gels, they need to be rolling out, shifting left, pulling right, giving him time to move and make some reads.
They're definitely scheming up something. I know that if Denver over rushes from the outside, you could always hit the ball up the middle. There's always draws, inside screens. There's stuff you could do,
Is
Listen,
Berkeley
yeah.
out for? Sorry to interrupt, but is Berkeley out for week
I
1?
don't think we know yet officially.
No, he's there. Come on, man. That's
Who's that?
game.
Who's talking about?
So what's the running? So it's Barkley, Booker, and Bright.
Yes.
Booker,
Brightwell. Yeah.
Okay.
Why they cut Clement?
Yeah, they
Yep.
cut Clement.
Hey Zion, put that
I'll
back.
even
put
know
it back
that.
up right now, bro.
I think they probably saw Gary Brightwell as more of a
Here we go. Here's the 53-man roster, guys.
Well, it's I think it's longevity, right? I mean, I don't know why Sam Beal's still on the team. I thought that guy
That's
would
what I
have
said.
What the hell?
packed his bags
At
and
the
gone
running
already.
back position,
Oh.
we kept 5.
Told you
We
guys.
got
Sam Beal's
Saquon
good.
Barkley,
Oh, they're counting
Devontae
2
Booker,
fullbacks though.
Gary
We can't
Brightwell,
flex.
Cullen Gillaspia, and Eli Penny. I can't.
Might not be the final roster, like Adam was saying.
That's,
No,
I mean,
of course not. Yeah,
I don't think you keep 2
Keep two
fullbacks. I
fullbacks.
don't think Sam Beal if you need to cut a roster, that guy is going to be sent packing because they traded for Keon Croson, they traded for Josh Jackson, and the only one that's left is Sam Beal, who somehow has pictures of Dave Gettleman nude somewhere. That's probably why he still has a freaking job. I mean, my God.
Yeah, but Aaron Robinson is on the pup list.
All right, that's Aaron Robinson. But I mean, if you need to steal a spot to put a tackle on there, because right now you only got 3 tackles, right? If I'm not mistaken, you have Matt Pert, Nate Solder, and Andrew Thomas. That's not enough tackles to go into the football game when
Well,
most of your guys play guard and
together ain't
center.
enough for one side right now, but that's another story.
See, I'm thinking they got to find one more tackle. Like
I
a
think
backup
Andrew
tackle.
Thomas will end up developing into a good tackle.
They better.
Yeah.
Matt Pert,
Mhm.
I'm worried about.
Matt,
I don't know what to think of Matt Pert yet.
well, he's
because-
young. He's raw. He's raw.
He's raw for real.
because I think I don't know if it's lack of skill set on this level because he played at UConn. Because you got to think a lot of these guys from UConn, Duke, all these teams they're like a year behind in terms of football like acumen because their talent level is not up to like an SEC level. Playing all these teams in Bama, Michigan, Ohio State, those big time talented teams that they get a lot of these players from. So I'm wondering if being from UConn is stunning his growth a little bit, right? He just added some weight. You got to move a little bit. I mean, the other night he put his head down like Eric Flowers. He reminded me of Eric Flowers lunging forward with his head
Why
down.
you
I
shitting
said,
on
"Oh, here we
UConn?
go again." I don't want to bring up the name. I know it's a sore spot for people, but
Ash Money calls all the time.
Listen,
I just like that they're all on the same page about getting better. And Will Hernandez said this today, and he said, if all the Giants fans were saying that we were the
We're
best line in the
offensive
league,
line.
we would still be saying the same thing. And I love that.
right.
You can see that it bothered him too when they said they're saying that you guys are the worst offensive line in football. How do you feel about that? He said, "Is that what they're saying?"
Yeah.
And he smirked a little bit. I guarantee you the rest of them linemen had a conversation about that.
Oh, they
After that
will. Oh,
interview.
they will. I'm sure judges will find a way to put it on their seats, their stools in the locker room. Say, hey guys, I hear that you're the worst O lineman in the league. Go prove it today that you go prove the NFL wrong. So, I mean, I'm excited for the season. I'm not necessarily worried about the O line the same way because again, they brought in quality talent. If they still had Matt Wiggins or whoever that Wiggins guy was and Ted Larson still, and they're like, yeah, and they're traipsing those guys out, I'd be like, damn, we really got some issues. But Billy Price, like I said, was a first-round pick, and the Ben Brederson is a fourth-round pick from the Ravens who have developed some decent O-line talent, and they got Kevin Zeitler there, so he was a little expendable in their eyes. So why not take that guy?
Now let's look at that. We got for him. We gave up a 4th-round pick,
And that's it.
next year's draft.
Yeah.
And we got him and another 5th-round pick and a 7th.
A conditional 7. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, but
That
that fifth round pick is from Kansas City, so you're really looking at almost a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Well, that's ammunition to move up and
I
down,
mean,
right?
it doesn't matter. We still have that. Gives us like
Remember, they got the pick. They got the 5th round pick this year, and they packaged it with a 3rd round pick to move up and get Aaron Robinson.
But look how well we drafted this year. We used a 6th round pick in Rodarius Williams, and he's on the 53-man roster. So,
Right,
Well,
no,
technically,
I'm saying
that guy could have been a
still
4th
gives
round
us-
pick.
That still
No, I
gives
think
us-
Rodarius Williams is gonna be something, man.
that
Yeah.
still
I
gives
think we
us
hit on
like
this draft
11
this year.
picks next year.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we got to blow everything up this year, we still have a great amount of picks next year to put
Yeah.
with what we've already had here laying the
first.
foundation.
Absolutely.
Minus
Good
the
first
only thing is this:
Wait.
that's contingent upon Daniel Jones doing well. If he doesn't do well, those first 2 picks and a couple of them, we might not have the same amount if we have to go up and get somebody. Right
I
now,
think-
for all we know, we may not have to do that. Knock on. I don't want this to happen, but let's say disaster happens for some reason. Maybe the Giants pick or even the Bears pick is top 10. We don't have to move up. Let's hope that
I
none of that
think
happens.
That
But
even if Daniel Jones does bad this year, I don't think we take those picks and get a quarterback.
I don't either.
I think
Wait,
you
they bring a
take
free
those
agent?
picks and you fix the offensive line and you give him one more season with protection.
well,
and
then
the
you got to
weapons
bring in
that he has.
competition.
And if he stinks, then you take them next 1st and 2nd round pick of the following season, and you get 2 quarterbacks to choose from that are standing behind a protective offensive
Seems like-
line that can
seems
keep
like
you
a-
upright.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you bring in?
According to-
Let's say hypothetically he doesn't do well this year. There's a
And
guy
I'm
like
just
Mariota
being
floating
dramatic
around.
saying the 2nd round pick is a quarterback.
Yeah,
That-
but even
that-
even Adam, real quick, even if he doesn't do good, you're not gonna throw him away. They're gonna keep him for that 4th season.
That's what I'm saying.
but-
So even if he stunk up the joint this year,
But
I
then
would
can we
take
bring in
him-
like a
Even if you bring
Derek
in
Carr?
somebody else, like
Can we bring
Adam
in
was
Derek
about to
Carr?
say.
Like
I would
look.
I would build
Nobody's
the
going to
line.
succeed if we don't fix the offensive line. If Daniel
That's my
Jones gets
point.
sacked 50 times this year, it's not going to matter who's behind there.
Yeah, he'll make it through.
Exactly. Because
Right.
we proved it ourselves in the Super Bowl twice against the supposed GOAT, Tom Brady. It doesn't matter who you have at the quarterback position. If them boys keep breaking through the line and sacking you and making you move off your spot and making you think twice and second guess yourself and just throw the ball so you don't get hit, even Tom Brady's going to lose. We proved it twice. So if we don't fix that offensive line, it doesn't matter if you got Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Dan Marino. You can pull whoever you want back there. If he don't have time to
There are NFL teams that if we did move off Daniel Jones and he had a season where he got sacked 50 times and we let him go, then they pick him up. Because if you give Daniel Jones a clean pocket, he can throw the deep ball as good as anyone.
Well, he'll be Ryan Tannehill.
I'll Tannehill, exactly. Adam
Yeah.
took it out of my mouth.
It'll be Tannehill or Mariota. That all I was saying is if he struggled,
Good point,
would
Chris.
you bring in a guy like a Mariota?
Mm.
Would you bring in a guy like that's true, Chris. If the new GM wants his own QB, you might want to make that happen. But what I'm saying is, let's say the coaching staff's there, Daniel Jones is struggling. I need to bring in some competition to light a fire under his ass, and not Mike Glennon. I look like Napoleon Dynamite. I'm never going to steal his job. You know what I mean? I need a guy who's good. If you're going to keep Jones, I need somebody to light a fire under his ass. And
But
bring
is that the problem, though, that he doesn't have a fire under his ass?
No, but he has no competition. And sometimes you need that competition to kind of be like, oh, shit, if I fuck up. Like last year, he had Colt McCoy. The year before that, he had Eli Manning. When Eli Manning was on the field, guess what? Daniel Jones somehow got healthier real quick, didn't he? He got healthy real quick. So
that's who he is, though. I mean, you look at the story from high school. He came back from a broken collarbone in 2 weeks.
But when he was playing with Colt McCoy, he didn't have to worry about coming back. They put him in early because they needed him because they knew Colt McCoy was garbage. If they had Eli Manning last year as his backup, guess what? They're not worried about Daniel Jones. They're sitting him on the shelf. Here you go. Take your time. Come back. They don't need to do that. My point is if you're going to give him a fourth season and he struggles this year, I need some competition in case we need to. I don't want to tank the season because this guy is throwing butt fumbles or interceptions or boneheaded plays like he did in the preseason game, and then coming out and saying, well, I got to do better. You got to do better. It's your fourth season.
Let's wait and see, man. And everybody's going nuts about this bad play in preseason, but let's let him play. Let's see. Like I said, man, 4 to 6 weeks of regular season, then we're really going to have a real good taste and know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
I'm
true.
agreeing with you. I'm just saying, I'm just bringing up the boneheaded play that we seem to see with this kid every time, right?
I was just
Like
gonna say too,
Eli
Adam. Let me
Manning.
just grab the mic from you fast, Adam. Let me just grab the mic from you. I
Uh-oh.
was just gonna say
Logan's in the house.
I was
Logan's
just gonna say no. If he has a, if the off like what Adam was saying, if the offensive line is there and like it starts to produce, but Daniel Jones still has a hard time. Like obviously, G Nation makes a good point with Garrett and his play calls, right? But even then, if the play call is there, the offensive line is there, but we see Daniel Jones just not perform. That's the only way I can see us going for a quarterback next year and him not being on the team. But I do understand the concept of if he doesn't have an offensive line this year, it's not like we're trying to make excuses for Daniel Jones. But they like I said, every time I talk about Daniel Jones, the kid was drafted out of Duke. Who came out with Duke with him? You know what I'm saying? And like he finally has a team around him, and now we see we're not panicking, a little bit concerned. But if this offensive line continues to struggle, he's going to have a really tough season, right? No matter, like, obviously we have to see him because if you look at it, the Patriots game, we didn't see him on the field with anybody we grabbed this offseason, right? Like G Nation mentioned earlier. So we really have to see him on the field and executing the play calls and making the smart plays, which I think he will. The only way I see us using those,
What's up, Mac?
or even trading for a quarterback, or using those draft picks on trading up, or trading for a quarterback, or bringing a quarterback is if everything around him works, but it's on him that is struggling to see. You know what I'm saying? To make the throws that he needs to throw and to make the reads. That's the only way I see us going for. Because I explained that on Slay's stream yesterday. You know.
Well, then do you fire Gettleman then? Who's going if Daniel Jones is
Philadelphia Eagles?
I was saying earlier today, I think Gettleman
Yeah,
retires
I
after
was.
this season, man.
Oh, so I was representing the
G-
G-Man.
Oh my God!
I'm almost sure that he's gonna step down.
Big play Slay is pretty good. Man. He's pretty good.
Slay supporting everybody's stream, bro, that I had to go and support him.
I'm just picking on you.
I know,
bro.
I know.
But okay, so Jones has a bad season.
Mhm.
What do you do with Gettleman? What is happening?
Gettleman's gonna retire, man. Gettleman's gonna retire after this season. I could guarantee you guys that.
Please.
Whether he retires on his own because he's older, or the Giants ask him to step down, either way, he's gonna. I have a feeling this is the last season. And I like the guy. I love the guy. But it looks like he's getting towards the end, you know?
He's made a lot of trades. He's made more trades in this last year than he has his whole career. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's pulling any of those strings out of him. I think that's all Judge.
You know what, too? I meant to do this in the beginning before I let anybody pop in the stream, but it just came back to my mind. So give me a second, guys. Shout out to Tom Coughlin and his whole family.
Yeah.
Our prayers are up with you, man. I know it's a tough position you in, being a caregiver for your own wife and watching her go through what she's going through. So our prayers are with you. Our thoughts and concerns are with you. Great coach for the New York Giants. Great man. Did a lot of things for the community and the J Fund and all those things. So, just wanted to say that for Tom Coughlin.
What a storybook career, should be in the Hall of Fame because what he did with two franchises, the Jaguars and the Giants, and having that time. He's my coach, right? I mean, I grew up as a kid with Fossil, but I really was my years of Giant fanhood became with him, right? And I'll always be indebted to him because.
What happened to you, Mike?
What's on?
Adam?
Hello?
I mean, like I started watching in 2006, so I'm right there with Adam. I mean, like Tom Coughlin was the only coach I remembered watching. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I went back and I looked at the Bill Parcells days and stuff like that. But at the end of the day,
he was part of that staff too. He was
absolutely. Sean Payton was there. Bill Belichick was there. Absolutely.
They all come from the Bill
Belichick coaching tree.
Coughlin was he was the receivers coach.
Let me tell you, Coughlin, the Jaguars never recovered when Coughlin was pushed out the door the first time, and the owner admitted it and brought him back. And the Giants haven't recovered from the day they pushed him out. Same thing.
That broke Eli's heart. He was crying like hell.
Yeah, Coughlin's a great coach. Definitely Hall of Fame. Him and Eli.
Was he Adam twice? Was he Was he GM in Jacksonville for a little bit? Or was
His
he
last time.
Yeah.
his
Oh,
last
yeah.
time,
And all the
was it?
players
Yeah,
turned
was
on
it?
him.
Well, before that,
he drafted Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, thank you. Go.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
Jalen
right.
Ramsey. Yeah. He put that team together.
Absolutely.
And the players
And
turned on
he
him.
drafted. He was a coach here when they drafted Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw. Because he was a big running backs guy. He was a running back in high school. Coughlin was a running back in high school.
Really?
And he played for the University of Rochester in college.
And let's not forget,
No,
he made Tiki's career by teaching him how to hold a football.
that's
Yeah,
true.
right.
He's a Hall of Famer because that.
Yeah,
guy.
you should talk to
Yeah,
Daniel
right.
Jones.
Whoa.
Well, maybe he is. I mean, Eli is still in that building. So
Sure
that
doesn't look
message
like
is
it.
still there. That message is still there. So, I mean, like I said, man, I grew up when Coughlin was, maligned. I remember we're doing the same thing we were doing with Eli Manning, what we're doing with Daniel Jones, right?
On YouTube?
When he was coming in, we're like, man, Eli stinks. He's the stepchild of Manning and all this other crap. And here we are with Jones. Man, Jones can't do this. Jones can't do that. So hopefully he has the same career. He has a similar coach. We'll see what happens. I love that tree. I love that Bill Parcells tree, man.
I'll tell you what, if we come out 0-2, the league better watch out.
I don't want to come out 0-2. The Giants have been 0-2 the last 6 years. Let's change it up. Go 2-0.
in 07. We went to
Try not
0-2
to do
in
that.
11.
Let's go 2-0, man. Let's start the season on a positive note. Let's let the league catch us for once, okay?
That's true.
Let's stop trying to catch
Did you
the
guys see the online? They said that the most popular bets for the NFL season are, I think the first two are either the Bucks or the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, and the third most popular bet is the Giants winning the NFC East.
That should be
What's
the
the
number
odds
one
on
bet.
that? You know the
That
odds?
should be the number
So
one
people,
bet.
the big
Because
bettors.
I tell you what, Tom Brady ain't gonna finish the season.
What?
Yeah, he will.
Tom Brady's not gonna finish the season. Remember
Yeah.
I said it.
We've
Oh,
been
wait.
saying that for like a
From
decade.
your mouth to God's ear.
No. I've been saying that for this whole offseason. You remember me saying it, Logan. I said it to
And
somebody.
then
I was
Kyle
arguing on the
Trask
stream
will
about
lead them to the Super Bowl.
Let's be honest, guys. Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Patrick Mahomes by like a
it.
long
Logan, I'm
shot.
about to pop you out the screen if you start that Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yo, can I just mention what you guys' thoughts on the Cam Newton situation?
I am so excited for Mac Jones.
Zion, I'm about to pop you out the stream with that.
I personally think Mac Jones is gonna have the
Mac
best
Jones.
season out of all the rookie quarterbacks this
Mac
year.
Jones.
He's set up for success. The best, the best coach, the best scheme. I think he's
Over
gonna be.
$100 million in
He
free
did what Bill
agency
Belichick
spending.
wants to do 100%. That was the
I really don't
perfect
care
draft
about Cam
choice.
Newton, so it doesn't really bother me. I
Yeah,
just don't. I mean, I think he was washed
I
up.
feel you, I feel you.
I think he was
really-
washed up last year, and everyone's telling me, "Oh, he's so good." No, the guy was a bum. His arm looked like a noodle, and
I'm really excited. I'm glad. No, I'm not. I mean, it sucks that Cam lost
He's on
lost
like a
his
noodle.
job, but I'm excited that Mac Jones is going to be able to face the Bucks in Week 4. That's
well,
going to
yeah,
be fun.
you don't want to see a guy lose his job, but let's see. He went to the Patriots and lost them a couple football games, and then this year broke some rule, and Mac Jones stepped up. I mean, that
He
tells you
didn't
how
break a
good
rule.
that
There
guy
was-
is.
He was playing good.
He didn't break the rule.
Wait, he was playing good until he got the
They tried to
COVID.
force him to take
Yeah,
the vaccine.
COVID really knocked him.
And I totally agree. If he doesn't want to do that, that's on him. He shouldn't be forced to do it, and he technically shouldn't be fired. And I wouldn't be surprised if he files a grievance. If he files a grievance with the NFLPA, I'm just saying, because that's his choice. If we're talking about him just being cut, it also factors in that Mac Jones is doing pretty well in camp, right? If he was stinking up the joint, I don't think regardless of what happens, I don't think they.
Listen.
get rid
His
of him.
first drive under center when Cam Newton came out and they broke the huddle. He walked up to the line, closed his eyes, prayed, and then. So he already knew his job was at risk.
He was saying his Hail Marys in the game.
I mean, it was on live TV. I said, did they really just show this? Why are they trying to play Cam?
He was like, "God, please get my arm back. Please get my arm back."
Oh,
He
yeah,
keeps throwing sidearm.
Blake Martinez stuck a stake through his heart.
That was a great play.
Yeah, to be honest, for all the crap that we're giving the offensive line, the Giants defense shut the Patriots down for that entire first half.
Facts.
They had one drive and it started on hour 30 because because of a turnover. All right.
That's a really good comment. He does look like a med.
I was impressed. I was impressed with how they handled the team. I want to see a few guys do better. I'm a little concerned about the missed tackles by Tate Crowder. That's what concerns me in this defense, because that'll lead to big plays, especially if you got teams that you're playing with the running backs like Ronald Jones on the Tampa Bay and shit. So I'm just concerned about that. Other than that, I'm ready, man. Let's see who steps up. Lorenzo Carter looked good. He got a sack. Dexter Lawrence. I love Dexter Lawrence.
The guy you just named.
Dexy, man. Like he's even got a cool nickname.
No, the guy
Dexy.
Lorenzo Carter looks like he could be a monster this year.
Joe Carter looks good. I mean, Trent Harris, I could do without. If he gets cut, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
I want to see Danny Shelton come back.
Well, we got.
I like seeing Sheldon. There's nothing like seeing a hippopotamus in the middle of the
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, man.
I mean,
it's exciting, right? You turn on a defense and you see a big fat slob in the middle. It's great. Come on, man. That's good stuff.
Let's get it.
I like it for Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez is going to be looking at the Grand Canyon every time he's running up the field. Okay.
Yeah. So hey, hopefully maybe Carter Coughlin takes that next steps and becomes a guy on this team.
Yeah, because he looked really, he looked good.
Move to interior linebacker was inside linebacker was a good move for him.
He looked good.
Well, it gave him the versatility to play inside and beat guards who are not as athletic as he is, right? The only problem he has is they're going to be a little stronger than playing a tackle. But with those pass rush moves, you can see that he's going to be a great blitzer. That's the one thing I like about him in the middle, is that he's not going to take on a running back and get beat. He's going to run through the running back. Most of the Giants linebackers these days kind of dance with the running back, like, dude, come on, put your shoulder into him and get to the quarterback. That's what Coughlin's going to do.
I like Coughlin, man. I like he's played smart.
Do any of you guys are you guys in any fantasy leagues?
I'm in one. I'm going to be in one.
I'm one, but I hate fantasy because I have to pick up ex-Giants.
I fantasize about getting sleep.
The thing about fantasy is I can't root for other teams. I had a dude come over to my house once we were watching a Giant game. I think it was Giants-Eagles. This motherfucker goes, "Oh man, I hope the Giants win." But what Ryan Westbrook goes for 100 yards. I told him to leave. You better get the hell out of my damn house. He was like, "What do you mean? It's fantasy." I'm like, bro, I cannot support another man's team. I don't give a who it is. I don't care if it's for money. I'll lose that money. I'll burn that shit up before
I ask because there seems to, since a lot of the drafts are happening right now, there's a lot of hype around of Antonio Gibson, the Washington running back. I was wondering what your guys' thoughts were on him as one of our opponents.
Pick him up. He's going to be their feature back. Pick him up.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of him last year?
He was solid. He can tote the mail, man. He's pretty good. They got a pretty good team over there. We don't like to think of Washington as a pretty good team because, they're the Washington.
I'll be right back.
Excuse me. They're the Washington football team about to drop the Redskins out there, but
you didn't.
Don't get my channel, you bigot.
I don't know. To me, they're still the Redskins. I don't care what they say.
Hey, yes, Miz and I are gonna die on this hill together. But what I'm saying is
they are the Redskins. I just don't say it so I don't get
Yeah, well,
football team is the worst football name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, come up with something, right? Come up with something. Be the Washington assholes for all I care.
Do something. They can't win because they can't even come up with a freaking name.
Look, they could be the Washington assholes. WAS. They could be the Washington assholes. There you go. Good. There it is.
Our team tries to kill each other in minicamp. That shows we can at least fight together as a team. They can't even come up with a name together as a team. I'm not worried about that.
The Fitzpatrick, they're trying to measure how long his beard can get by the end of the season.
Tragic. His name is Fitztragic. I gave him that name by
QB1.
Now I see people using it all over the internet. I'm like, yeah, I should have patented that dirty name.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
By the way, don't be surprised if Cam Newton ends up in Washington.
So I saw on Rich Eisen, he was throwing out the idea of him in Dallas if Dak needs more time to recover.
They don't need that Yahoo.
No, there's nothing wrong with Dak. Don't buy the bullshit. that's been going on for the last 3-4 weeks.
So you don't believe that his shoulders?
No, that's their way of keeping him out of preseason. Nice excuse. I'm telling you, he's gonna come out week 1, week 2. He's gonna play good. You'll see.
It's like Barkley not practicing.
He's not gonna play good
ready
week.
for week 1.
Hold up, Miz, not week 1. Not week 1.
I'm about to pop you.
I'm telling you, man. There's nothing wrong with the guy.
He's playing the Bucks. He's playing the Bucks week 1.
There is plenty wrong with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, they're losing to the Bucks.
JPP and his club hand are gonna whack him.
No, they were never beating Tampa Bay. They were never beating Tampa Bay week 1 on ring ceremony night. They're not winning that game. We know that.
They're playing the Chargers week 2
at home. That's the game.
I'm excited. I want to see the Chargers. I want to see what's up with them.
The Philadelphia Eagles went and got porn mustache.
Yeah, the Eagles are
Uncle Rico. Don't be mad at Uncle Rico, man.
I like Gardner Minshew. He's got swag.
They went and got porn mustache.
Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. You can't take that down.
That's a good one, Adam.
You see, no matter what you hear from the Eagle fans, right? The Eagles have zero faith in Hurts.
Right.
As an organization, I'm telling you.
Gardner Minshew is a funny guy to watch, man. He's fun, man. I don't want him on the Eagles because he's going to be that guy that's going to win a weird, random miracle at the Meadowlands type game. That's just what Gardner Minshew has written all over him. We're going to play him like, oh, look, there's Uncle Rico, haha, and everyone's going to bring out the signs and laugh, and that motherfucker is going to go off for 400 yards and
he's going to miracle at the Meadowlands against the Jets. It's going to be against the Jets. It ain't going to be against our defense. It ain't gonna be against the New York Stock Exchange, because every time they throw that ball, they stock gonna drop because we're gonna be picking them off.
Next week's gonna be very interesting to see if Kenny Galladay and Barkley practice, so we know if they're gonna be playing in the game, and that's gonna be the most interesting part.
Don't forget Jackson. We need him.
Barkley's not gonna play week 1 just because week 2 is a Thursday night game. It's a quick turnaround. And since he hasn't been
I'm going to go on a limb and say he plays both weeks. I think so too. He plays both weeks. You know why? Because you can limit his touches, right? Yeah. You need him to be a decoy in the game. Whether he plays 10 plays, he plays 1 play, he will play that game week 1. He may not get a lot of carries, but they're going to need to get him hit. So he's got to play week 1. So then week 2, when that defense is coming at him and he has 10 days to recover, that's when he'll get more carries. That's what I'm going to say. I know you guys don't want him there in that short turnaround. I'm going to do the opposite and say they need him from game 1 to the end. And if he's there standing in the backfield looking like 26, just staring at the sun and the clouds, that's good enough for me because that's going to throw off Denver because they got to account for that guy.
That's right.
True.
Even if
they can't just load the box and
right. There you go.
Yeah.
Even if you sell them on a couple of play actions, they're still going to crash the box, and it's going to open up Galladay down the field and a couple of the tight ends. That's what Barkley brings.
What if you just put him out for passing downs, right? He goes out as a receiver and makes a couple quick little catches, a slant. I mean, he does that little arrow route on a linebacker. He might be going for 60. You know what I mean? And that was just 1 play. So, I mean, I just want to put him out there for the threat. Lawrence Taylor was a threat. The man would go out there. They would look for him if he changed his jersey. I want every arsenal I have in my playbook, I want it for Denver. Denver is the biggest game we have to date because it's game 1 and it starts the march to greatness. If we want to be great and take this team where we need to go, we need to beat this team. Period.
Start the march to greatness. You know what you are, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy that needs to give the halftime speech to every team that is losing and needs to come back out and rally and win the second half of the game.
I've been told I can give a halftime speech or two. But you know, I'm just saying this is what football is about. It's about emotion, right? We always sit here, and we were sitting here for the last 5 years going 0-2. Let's go fucking 1-0 and start the season and make Washington have to respect us, because if we go 0-1 and Washington's 1-0, they're going to be like, you know what? We won the division. We're going to show the Giants that this is our division. I want to walk in there and I want to put our dicks on the table and say, you're coming through New York this year.
Come on, man.
You're either a great halftime speech guy or you're the guy who's hungry and needs a Snickers in the commercials.
Bro,
yeah. I'm both, baby.
Well, that's good, man. That's hella good.
We need some energy. You know what I'm saying? I bring the energy.
I feel you.
We need something.
Bring that energy. Let's get it.
because
You
this
wanna be the
energy
best team
is
in
gonna
all
be
of the
going
land.
out on fucking September 12th. When I'm sitting there, kickoff is going on, I'm going to be through the roof. They're going to call the police because I'm going to be so damn noisy, because I'm going to have noise complaints, because that's how fucking fired up I'm going to be.
Wow.
Okay, they're going to hear me 60 miles away from my house, because that's how fired up I'm
Come on, Adam. What are you doing to my guy?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to get a bleep button when Adam talks. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Then there's going to be all beeps. Man. I can hear a damn thing.
I'm buying into Adam's emotions.
Like, you got to get fired up. If you guys aren't fired up, I don't know what you're doing. You want to go take a nap? You can go take dirt naps, okay? You can go do that. I'm ready to go right now. Put me in the damn game, all right? We sit here and go, we got to win game one. I don't want to hear 12-5 until we win game one.
I think I agree with Adam. We need the energy for sure, but I mean, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. So
don't give me that loser shit. Let's go out there and fucking win again. Okay, that's how you start. That's how you finish. No, you know what the fucking Kansas City Chiefs do? They go out and they win the football game. That's what they do. They don't say, "Let's wait till the end of the game." And fucking no, they go out and fucking beat every team on their schedule, and then they hold up the Lombardi. That's what they do.
Talking about the whole season.
The whole season. That's why they're fucking 13-3 every year, because they start fast and they don't worry about finishing strong. They just finish from day one. You walk in and you want to be a champion, you have to fucking win. I don't want to hear let's win later. That's for losers. I've heard that speech the last 5 years. It's gotten them nothing. 1 year it did them well. 1 year in 2011. Where the fuck has it been yet?
The last time we won the Super Bowl, last
last time was 10 years ago.
But look at the teams. They weren't 13-3 teams.
10
they were
years
9,
ago,
17.
we still have to face the Kansas City Chiefs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a whole other host of teams like Green Bay. And you wanted to let's finish the season. Yay, yippers. What are we, the Cleveland fucking Browns, the Detroit fucking Lions? We are champions. Let's act like it. Let's go out there and win the fucking first game. I'm tired of this shit. We sit here on these podcasts every time talking about the same shit and how, we're going to be happy if they're 0-2. Watch out, NFL. No, let's be 2-0.
Adam, and I'm gonna need you to give me and my team a halftime speech. All right.
Let's go.
I'll fucking call it.
No parent is gonna approve of that, Logan.
Oh, they will, because they'll love it. They'll say this guy's a nutcase.
No, man, it's fine. All my coaches curse me out anyway, so it's good.
Gee, I wonder why.
It's good for you, Logan. It builds character.
Facts.
You watch South Park, you probably heard more cursing on that damn show than that's coming out of my damn mouth.
That's a lie.
You've sure heard a lot more cursing out of South Park than you've heard out of my channel.
That's
Let's
fact.
go.
I think
I'm ready. Yo, I'm about to go for a run. I'll see you guys in an hour.
It's like 11:30.
What?
Bruh.
You gonna go put the sandbags on?
He's right. When's the last time we went 1-0? He's right. We got to win the first.
I would
game.
love to go 1-0, but I'm not going to say our season's a waste if we don't win the game.
How many teams have made the playoffs going 0-2 besides the one time we fucking did? How many times?
We won the Super Bowl going 0-2 both times.
Yeah, look at that.
Those players ain't on this team.
That's true.
Exactly.
Or maybe they
And
are.
we won the division in 2011. It took to game 3 against the Washington Hate-Skins, Redskins, whatever fucking skins you want to call them. Foreskins, how we used to call them back in the day, right? The Washington Foreskins, maybe that should be their fucking
The
team
Washington Foreskins.
He went biblical on them and called them the foreskins.
My point is that I'm tired of fucking sitting here every week saying, well, we can finish. Well, we went 0-2 and we won that Super Bowl. No, let's go out there and get like what Tom Coughlin used to do. He used to go 6-2. So when he hit a 4-game slump, he still was in the playoffs, even though he went 6-2.
Adam is a Philistine. I apologize for him, people.
You go on
I'm just messing with you, bro.
It's a
I'm
family
with you, though,
channel.
Adam. We do have the team to do it. We do have the team to start the season really hot, because if you look at it, after Washington, we got the Falcons. I'm not trying to downgrade the Falcons, but let's just be honest. We can win that game. You know what I'm saying?
We can win the Denver game.
Wait, if you guys are
that's what I'm saying.
If you're back in your 12-5 records, and you're putting that on the table, right?
Yeah.
And you need to be just as jacked through the roof as I am now, and not worry about being 0-2. Worry about being 1-0.
I can't be as jacked up as you right now, Adam, because I'm pretty medicated.
And
Yesterday.
We
I
gotta
can
go
try,
1-0.
Adam.
We gotta go 1-0. That's the most important 1-0 in years. We gotta go 1-0.
Let's
Absolutely.
go. I think we can do it.
If he go,
that
if he,
game.
okay, let's
No,
say we
because
go
if we
0-1.
if we go 0-1,
2017
Teams I don't think
Giants.
we can beat. There's not too
if you
many
go
teams.
0-1 and then you go 0-2 and we start to slide that way, it's here we go again, and the whole country's gonna abuse us, and the
Yeah.
players are gonna get down on themselves, and you got the New York media that's gonna
When has
destroy
the
these
abuse
kids.
stopped? When has
I
the
want them
abuse
to get some
stopped?
confidence.
It's never stopped.
I
They've been
agree.
abusing everybody on the team since they
It
came
is abuse.
from wherever they came from.
It
But
is
listen,
abuse. It's we
But
should
that's
get
why,
it.
Lou. That's
you
why we gotta go
you
1-0.
gotta be tough skinned to suit up and play for the big blue. You gotta
Right,
have
but-
thick skin. That
Yeah,
was what
because we
made
suck
Eli
right now.
so great. He
We
let
suck
that
right
stuff
now.
roll off his back. Because
You know what
he
people
knew-
do now about New Yorkers? They laugh because we talk big, but our teams are little. All right, we need to start winning some games, right? We talk big about, oh, we're better than the Jets. You know what the Jets are? They're in the same boat every year with us. They're in top 10 draft picks every time. Okay, we're sitting in that boat. We haven't had a winning season since 2016, and most people think that was a fluke anyways. I'm just frustrated and
Over
tired of
the
losing.
last
And
4
this
years.
narrative about, well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, is for losers.
But it's
Okay?
a new. But
Just go
Yeah,
out
they were
there
doing-
and fucking win.
They were
That's it.
doing
Al
this
Baby.
on the radio.
I'm bringing back Al Davis. Just win, baby.
Dude, we
That's
can't-
what you want to do.
We can legitly, like, I know, well, not to overlook Denver, but we can legitly start the season 5-0.
Whoa,
right.
whoa,
But
let's
I'm
relax.
not saying
Let's
overlook
calm
Denver.
down.
I'm
Let's
just saying.
calm
I'm
down.
just saying. You can pull up the
I mean,
schedule.
we can
the
start
beatable
0-5
teams.
for if we're saying that we can start 0-5 too.
Absolutely, anything can happen. But like, I'm
Right,
just
But
looking at
Adam
teams.
Adam
you know?
might punch his TV.
Adam might
Go
kill
0-5
somebody.
and punching every one of you virtually in the face. You know, no, what I'm saying is the narrative that we have as Giant fans is to expect them to have this magical run. Let's
I
not
punch
expect a magical run, and let's just build a run. You have to start somewhere. We have a foundation. Let's start building the damn house. I'm tired of still building the foundation. That's what we've been doing 5 years. Our foundation's so high, you might think it's the damn house. That's what I mean. Like, we've got all these players, you know, Barkley's, Jones. It's time to cash in on these receipts. Okay, I don't want to hear any more about, you know, let's win. Let's do it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Giants
I mean,
have to
week
win
one's
this
2
year.
weeks away,
The
man.
Giants
I can't
went out
complain.
and spent a lot of money, man. They spent to win this year. They got to win this year. This is supposed to be a playoff team. I don't care. Giants
Right.
got
It
to get a
will
wild
be.
card.
Yeah, and that's like I wasn't trying to overlook any teams because all of these teams are tough. And if you look at
No.
week 2, like Washington has one of the best defenses in the league. But if
That's my
Beer.
channel, baby.
Beer.
this video is brought to you by Pepsi.
This
Um,
video is brought to you by Gatorade.
Hey,
You know,
hey,
if we get past Denver, we bring in that emotion of that win against Denver at home. You know, we bring in that emotion. We go to Washington. Say we get past Washington, not to overlook Atlanta. We could win Atlanta. We could win that Saints game, and then we'll be marching going against the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Then we got the Rams after that. So I'm not trying to overlook these teams, but I'm just saying if we do get that 2-0 start, that's a lot of motivation going into Atlanta's game. You know what I'm saying? Going into the Saints. You know,
Let me ask you this
That's what
question.
we-
You're looking way too far ahead, man. Let's
I'm not-
last year,
I'm not
we're not
looking.
we're not good enough to do that. We
No,
got to
no,
play one game.
No. All I was saying is I was
This
just
is
going
New York,
off of
baby.
the point that Adam was making. If we do start 2-0, I'm
Right,
not trying to look for ahead. I was just going off Adam's point.
Listen.
Think about
Last
this.
year,
That
how did
question
you?
that they asked Will Hernandez at the podium? What do you feel about everybody saying you're the worst O-line in football? When they asked him that question, the look on his face said it all. He wanted to slap the living hell out of that person. But I guarantee you, they went back and they had a conversation, and they're going to come out week 1 fired up, trying to gain some respect for themselves.
And I want to see that. That's what I want to see. If we believe in Judge, we want to believe in Judge's message. He needs to win this game as a coach. Or when you're opening a game, get some momentum going behind you, right? Start to build something like Coughlin did. Coughlin went 6-10 his first year, got the players in that he needed in 2005, and then the rest is history, as they say, right? He was here for the next 10 years. So I want to see the progress that we're so keen that's going to happen and win a football game. Okay. All I also want to ask you is how did you feel when you guys were playing for the division last year? Everyone felt good even though we're 6-10. Well, guess what? We need that same feeling again, and it needs to be about playoff seeding. not necessarily the division, but let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be in it to win it, and you start so that you don't have to worry about finishing strong. Because if you have a bad stretch, you're not out of it. The Giants have been out of it by October every year. Let's still be in it by October if we have a slump, because that's what happens in slumps.
And I'm not trying to run through everything I just said again, because I said it multiple times in the offseason. Like, obviously, we could not easily, but we can lose the game against the Saints. But that's why I have us starting hot, struggling in the middle, and ending good. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we're gonna struggle going forward. It's gonna take some time. You know, it's not like we're gonna come out there and put up 42 against Denver. I have us going 2017, us taking it. It's gonna be a defensive game. We're gonna try to control the time. You know what I'm saying? And even that Washington game, I could see that final score of that game being like 9-9, unless someone goes off for anything. You know what I'm saying? I can see those both those two games. But just focusing on Denver, if you really think about it, there's a team that is exactly like us. They're just trying to figure it out as well. They have a solid defense on paper, more proven defense on paper than we do. But our defense compared to Denver's defense on paper is basically almost about the same. And then if you look at the offensive side of the ball, Denver got Rippins at receiver. You know, they got veterans at running back. I believe Melvin Gordon is there, if I'm not mistaken, and some other veterans. And then if you look at the quarterback like Drew Lock, same situation like Daniel Jones. Same year out of Daniel Jones' year. You know what I'm saying?
Teddy Bridgewater started.
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater. Well, there you go. But even like if you look at Teddy Bridgewater, he's not that far off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get into Teddy's career, but like about young quarterbacks not even getting the chance. But if you look, good job for Teddy. Now he's on the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? So he gets to prove it there. But still, it's not like the Broncos are marching out Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a winnable game.
They are marching out a guy who had his best season under the coach that he's playing under right now, and Pat Shermer. So he will be competent when he runs this offense. I'm not saying he has to be great. And I'm not even worried about that. All I'm worried about is like in the 90s. I don't know how old you guys are. I mean, Lou and Miz might know. We had great defenses and piss-poor offenses that we wasted. And we could have playoff years because we had Dave Brown at the helm or Kent Graham or Danny Cannell. I hate to bring sore spots for the older guys.
But that just hurt my heart, just hearing them crappy-ass names.
Right. But you had guys like Jesse Armstead and Michael Strahan and, you know, Sam Garnes and Sean Williams, those guys,
Felipe Sparks,
right.
Oh yeah,
right. And they were a solid defense and kept us in a lot of games. And then you would have Dave Brown fumble over his shoes, right? I mean, this guy was terrible. And then you had Ken Graham, who was even worse than that. And then Danny Cannell could barely throw past 6 yards. So those are the quarterbacks, those are the offenses. And if it wasn't for Tiki Barber and Amani Toomer coming in late, they would not have any offenses, right? So I just don't want to waste guys like that. I want to be Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin was great in the first half of the seasons, most of his seasons up until 2011 and 2012, where he didn't have the same success. But he was 6-2, then they lose 3 in a row, then they win again. And I want to be in it every game. I don't want to say
part of that was Jerry Reese's fault because he wasn't drafting well, but you know.
But if you look at it last year, Adam, he was kind of in it every game with that roster. Only maybe the Cardinals game, maybe the San Francisco game, maybe there's another game. But if you look at it, we barely lost by more than a touchdown.
Oh there was only that one game that we really got spanked.
Across the league, that's the case though. What I'm saying is for us to get to where we need to be, we need to start winning and get confidence, because that's the only way they're going to see that.
I guarantee you that statement at the podium in front of the world when they said, "How do you feel about being called the worst O-line in the NFL?" That statement fired them up.
I'll be right back, guys.
And Joe Judge,
you can thank the reporter, whoever said that, because that might ignite. That might be the spark to this fire, this flame that gets lit. Because I haven't been this excited for a football team. Sorry, Miz, I'll let you talk. I've been talking a lot, but I've never been this excited about a football team in a long time. And I just want to put that excitement on tape. Let's have what we're feeling. Let's see it produce, right?
Because even if it doesn't fire up the whole offensive line, even if it just fires up Will Hernandez, and then the players on that line see that he's giving it a little extra, they'll pick up on that and they'll
Chain
start
reaction.
giving a little extra.
Chain
And
reaction.
then that might be the link that sets off the whole chain reaction that gets this O-line going.
It's just like this live stream. We all see Adam going crazy, and then next thing you know, Miz is screaming at the top of his lungs, and then that got Lou going, and it's a chain reaction.
And also too,
I just bring the spark, baby.
My man let me down tonight. Entertainer was supposed to come in. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
He told me send him the link. He's coming in.
He's big time.
I tried.
appreciate
big
it.
time.
Though.
That's all right.
I
And
guess
to
we're not
Adam's
big-
point, like Adam was realistic over the course of the offseason. So he was always excited. He always has that excitedness in his voice, but he was on the more realistic side. So it was nice to see him get really excited for his team. I know you do on Sundays, but you always came in with like that knowledge and that facts and that have lower expectations when me and Joel will go off on how good this team's gonna be, and I love it. But I
told you the beast was coming. I told you the beast was coming. The beast is here now. Okay, this is the guy that I am.
Frank the Tank.
This is what happens to me on Sundays when football is here. I get riled up because this is the time you get to punch a grown man in the mouth and take his lunch money and step on his fucking dick if you want to while you go by and score a touchdown.
All right.
Because that's what you want to do. Take the will of a man, right?
Mhm.
And this is what I want to start. Let's go, man. I'm just tired of losing. That's all we ever do.
You're tired of losing, so you want people to step on each other's phalluses.
They got cleats on, man. It's just gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt.
I'm telling you, if the O-line comes out, and I think it could happen, man, they could come out angry and they could shut this Bronco pass rush down, and then we're all gonna go nuts. You know?
Well, I would like
That
to
would
see
be great.
Plan. I just want to see Barkley, man. He's so exciting of a player. Like the last 2 years have been boring on offense, man. You rewatch games from last year, I'm snoozing through the offensive side of football. Ain't nobody over there.
I think it'll be a low-scoring victory. I think we can pull it off like 12-9, 13-10, something like that.
Zion's exactly right. We're going to be in a lot of low-scoring games this year.
Hey, at least I don't have to see Golden Tate anymore.
I'm talking about on the Denver game. I think we can pull it out like a 12-9 victory or 13-10.
12-9.
Yep, I think it's going to be a defensive game.
1960.
A win is a win,
I
Adam.
think it's going to be a defensive game, and being that it's week 1 and we still have O-line trouble, I think it'll be a defensive battle. It'll be a low-scoring game, a game of field goals, and
that's not something I want to happen because that favors a Denver.
Do you
team.
want to win or not?
You take a win.
Yeah.
I'll take a win.
I'll take a win if it's 3-2. I don't give a
I
Come
will
on,
too. I'm
Adam.
just saying a closer game favors Denver.
If they get a safety and we get a field goal and that's all the points scored and we win, I'm happy.
That'd be the glorious game I've ever watched in my life.
Adam, you blew all of our eardrums out saying how you want to go 1-0 and then you're complaining, 12-9.
About how we
that's
win.
not- Come on, man.
No, I don't care. I was trying to have a point till you interrupted me. You damn, look at your hair. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta we got me and Miz. We gotta.
Yeah, you got the opposite, right? You got the full head of hair.
That's funny
Before and after picture
if
right
I
there,
take
right?
off this hat, my hair is just as
and
long.
after. That's what happens.
No, Lou, look, the golden.
But what I'm
dome.
saying is, I don't want it to be close because that favors a Denver team against our. What is our weakest side of the football? It's offense.
Turtle wax.
Offense is the weakest side. So their strength is going to be the defense. So if it's a closer game, I don't want close mouth pass rushers coming around this team. I want a game where we're in the lead and we can just give the ball to Barkley.
How are we going to be in the league against this defense and our struggles right now? Like we could be. Don't get me wrong. We could be. Barkley maybe could take a snap and take it to the house, and maybe Tony plays and takes it to the house of someone. But at the end of the day, it's like even if it's a close scoring game, wouldn't you just want a victory?
I'm not. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying I want to blow them out. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but we're not.
I
don't think we're gonna blow
I
them
didn't
out.
sign up for 6 months to wait for them to score 12 points. I did not wait for that.
But I don't think
I
it's
did
gonna
not
happen.
wait 6 months.
We can
for
blow
them
out
to
Atlanta,
score
maybe.
12 points.
Wait.
Up on Atlanta.
Adam, are you more upset that we said it's going to be a close game, or that we're only going to score 12 points?
We're only going to score 12 points. I didn't sign off for that shit.
He wants to go.
I want points, man. We got Galladay, Tony, Ingram, if you like, Barkley, and we're only going to score 12 points, man.
We might be able to put 35 up on Atlanta.
Hey, what do you guys think if Joe Judge is actual pool shark and he's just all of this has been the Kansas City Shuffle, and then week 1 we come out there and blow their ass out the water? Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be
excited about
That'd be
that
awesome. So that
happening?
Adam
Would you go
doesn't scream
screaming
at
That
me.
could happen.
Well, you want to be cruising at halftime, right? When you're drinking your soda. Every time when I watch a Giant game, I'm biting my damn nails off because it's down to the wire. It's like, oh shit! If Daniel Jones fumbles here, the game is over. There's no like, hey, we got a 14-point lead. I'm gonna go get a beer now. You know what I'm saying? It's always never leave your seat nail biting. And that's exciting, but I don't want to blow my heart out watching these games. So can we blow somebody out, please? Can we win a game where we're like up 40-0?
Yeah, Atlanta, we can do it against Atlanta, maybe. And plus,
Good.
too, I mean,
I
like,
hope
if it wasn't
so.
the Broncos, the Broncos has a good defense, bro. Like I think they do. They have a really good
Surtain.
defense.
Why
Patrick
did
Surtain.
Zion
Oh, now they have a good
turn to Austin
defense.
Powers?
A few weeks ago when I said they had a good defense, you guys were like, oh, we could beat
I
Denver.
don't know.
We're
I
gonna
always
slap
said-
them around.
I
Zion
said
just
we
turned
could
into
beat
Austin
Denver.
Powers. He said we
God.
can against Atlanta, baby.
No, I always kept my 2017 since like 3 months ago. Like I always kept it a low scoring game, and I always had us winning against Denver because I
Well,
believe
20
we can
points
win
is better
against
than
Denver.
fucking 12.
Yeah,
God. Give me a
Like,
fucking touchdown.
Adam,
You go
it
by-
was still a win. 12 was still a win, though. He didn't have us
Yeah,
losing.
I don't care about the win. I want to be excited, man. I watch
Oh,
for this.
now
Lord.
you don't care about the win. You guys heard that, right?
He's
He
gonna
doesn't
have,
care about
you're
the win.
I
gonna
said
have
I care about
exciting.
the win. That's why I said I
He
care
wants
about
to-
the win.
he-
I
he
just
wants
want
a
to be
Saints game
excited
from a couple
while
years
we
back.
win.
Yeah.
Look at Tyreek Hill. Look at Kansas City. You think they're going? We're going to score 12 points today, guys. That's gonna
Nobody
be great. No,
does.
they're like, let's go. Let's drop 28 on these motherfuckers.
Life happens, man.
Yo, you're gonna have
Life
exciting,
happens.
Adam.
What?
You're gonna have exciting. There's gonna be 2.5 minutes left, and we're gonna get the ball on our own 25, down 16-14, and Jones is gonna have to go down and put us in field goal range.
Mhm.
That's gonna be your exciting. You're gonna be biting your toenails. You're
I'm gonna
already
be biting my
went through your
nails, hoping he
finger.
doesn't fumble the ball away. When he drops back to pass.
Homie
Yeah,
said I
Beat
don't
up by
want
your
him to
cat.
But knowing us, I could see that happen.
C-Rock NY Blue says, the problem we have in our O-line is that we have no dogs, no nasty to play O-line, just Gates and maybe
That's not true.
Hernandez.
That's
Well,
not
you
true.
said no dogs, and then he says he has Gates. That's a dog to me. That's
Shane
one.
Lemieux is a dog.
Shane Lemieux has a torn patella.
Partially.
Shane Lemieux has
Oh,
a dog.
he has a torn patella?
Yeah.
Damn.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be on top of
Partially
this.
torn patella.
The guards isn't the problem. The tackles have to get better. That's all.
Andrew Thomas is like, there's no fire in that dude.
Nah,
Andrew Thomas.
too early.
Maybe I should go have a talk with Andrew Thomas. Maybe I can fire him up saying,
You
"You're in
should.
the NFL. Play better, bro. Play
You're
better,
gonna-
bro."
You're gonna see a different Thomas next week.
I sure hope so. What if
Yeah,
Joe
that's
Judge
true.
said, hey,
That's
walk
true.
out there and play like crap?
I'd
Go
like to
fast,
see.
go
I'd
fast,
like
go
to
fast.
see
You know,
the left tackle and the right tackle be a better tackle next
The
week.
problem with Tom,
Look,
Thomas,
I'll give you Pat's message. I spoke to him for like a half hour, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And the guy that he's really worried about is Perk.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm worried about, Matt Pert. Because Andrew Thomas came on in the second half of the season
Yeah.
last year.
When they
I'm
made
worried
the
about Nate
coaching
Solder.
switch.
Well, we know what Nate Solder is. Nate Solder is expendable.
Yeah,
Until-
but it's not a great. It's not a great choice to have Matt
I wish
Pert
we
and
knew
then
that when we signed it all that money.
Right.
Well, we're just gonna throw Nate Solder out there. Good luck, Daniel.
No.
Well, that's why I'm saying you max protect with Smith and the fullback a little bit.
But if you
know?
max protect, you're taking a player off the field that is dynamic. So you become.
I know, but what are you gonna do, man? If I'm saying if the O line looks real bad the whole first quarter, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, then
Yeah,
you
if
got to
we're
make
max
adjustments.
protecting, we got big problems.
I
Let
really
me-
like
Both
Caden
the whole
Smith.
game.
I really
me-
like Caden Smith.
I
Let me
like
give you
Jason
something,
too.
Adam. Let me give you something, Adam. All right, this is if you can sign up for this. This might be a little bit better for you, and it could be realistic. We beat the Broncos 28-10, but we score on special teams and we score on defense once.
Who's returning that kick?
I like
take
that.
that.
One.
I'll
I
take
like
that.
that.
Who's going to be returning that kick?
Tony.
Good question.
What?
Bill Peppers.
What'd you say,
I'll-
Peppers?
Peppers.
What'd you
Peppers,
say?
yeah.
Peppers picks off a ball in the middle of the field and takes it to the house. What?
I want to see him do
I
more, man.
would say, yeah. There you go. Peppers. No, but if Peppers returning it, then someone else has to. Say Bradbury with it.
Then the
Okay.
entire
No, I want to say.
defense.
I'm
Then
gonna
the
say.
entire defense
Hey,
climbs
whoa,
up
whoa,
into
Xavier
the crowd.
McKinney.
He's sack fumble.
I'm gonna say-
to the house. Sack
I'm gonna
fumble
say-
to the house.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson jumps Cortland Sutton and takes it to the house.
There you go.
No,
so
no.
we score 14 points on offense, and we score on special teams, and we score on defense.
We have an
and-
update on Adoree Jackson.
Yeah,
You
you're
can
asking,
Adoree
you're
Jack-
asking, you're
Adoree
asking for
Jack-
Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Adoree Jackson's gonna be ready week 1.
Don't worry
He
about
just
Adoree
twisted his
Jackson.
ankle. He just twisted his ankle.
Secondary is fine.
Secondary is fantastic.
Yeah,
I
we
want
don't
to see
have
how
to
they
worry.
utilize Peppers and McKinney because
McKinney, yep.
Peppers is ballyhooed as a playmaker, and he has 2 interceptions in his tenure with the Giants. So I want him to turn the ball over a little bit more,
More than
cause a little
Jamal
bit more
Adams.
havoc.
I'm excited to see James Bradbury versus Cortland Sutton. That's gonna be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Hey Lou, I gotta hop
James
off.
Bradbury is a
I
great
gotta hop
corner.
off, but thank you,
Appreciate
thank you.
popping on the stream, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good night,
Sure,
everybody.
man. Peace out.
All right.
Peace.
Help
Who's
you out.
Thomas?
Peace, peace.
Peace. Trey.
Adam. Who's
What?
Thomas? Who's Thomas is up against? Von Miller or Chubbs?
I think it's
Yeah.
Chubb.
It's going to be either one. They're going to flip him. They're going to keep going.
Oh,
Right.
that's
It's probably going to be Von Miller because he's going to be licking his chops watching film all day. I want to watch film right now with Von Miller just to see if he's laughing hysterically watching Andrew Thomas Matt Pert film, because I know if I'm Von Miller, I'm probably going to coach like, listen, put me on either side. I am going to destroy these cats one-on-one. He's back, boy.
I'm
telling you, he's back.
I'm most worried about Matt Pert though. Like Andrew Thomas could get better, but I'm worried about Matt Pert. Seriously,
Don't worry about Pert. He's not starting. Soldiers is going to start. Watch.
I'm still worried about the right tackle if it's going to be Solder as well.
Yeah, I feel a lot better about Soldiers.
I feel better about Solder as well, but I'm just worried about both to be
I
honest.
just want the best 5 to play. I don't care who that is.
Exactly.
Make it the best 5, right?
Well, I
because
think they'll be picking up another offensive lineman within the next 2 or 3 days. They've been all over Twitter about it for like the last 2 hours.
the waiver wire cashes in tomorrow, right? So we'll know if they pick some players.
I have a
tomorrow.
question for you guys. Do you guys think we should sign Mitchell Schwartz?
Yeah, that's the guy I was hearing about.
Mitchell Schwartz is a great tackle. He's arguably top 20.
But do you know why he
Why
stayed
is
out
he
of free
not?
agency
Yeah.
that long?
I think he had an injury at the end of last season, actually.
Yeah, injury.
How old is he?
32.
He's
He's a
not going to
veteran.
sign more than a 1-year deal.
Kansas
After coming
City
off
Chiefs.
injury.
He's
The
not
thing
bad.
is this. The thing is this. With linemen, the guys they got in, if you look at their contracts, they could be future guys if they want, right? With Hernandez possibly leaving, Shane Lemieux can always upgrade there. And Billy Price is a first-round pick, right? So I don't want a guy coming off an injury that I'm going to have to train up and get ready. I want guys that are already football shaped, have gone through training camp, that I can bring in, even on the waiver wire, that I can develop as well, because I want to look for the future.
Somebody that's
It's not
coming
just
off
for
college.
right. Like I know people want Austin Ritter, but what if he comes in here not that great a shape and he's behind the 8 ball because he doesn't know the playbook? So then you got a guy that's just collecting checks, right?
I'm telling
As
you, we're
opposed to-
not. I'm sorry, you can go.
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, we're not signing Austin
Come on,
Ritter.
man,
We
he
are.
was talking, man. Come on, man. You got to stop doing that. Let people finish.
Huh?
What?
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
I said, gotta let you finish. I'm
Did
sorry.
he leave or?
He was
No, I
like,
didn't kick him out. I just told him that
I
he got to
think
stop
he did.
interrupting people. I didn't kick him out.
but my point is that when you have these linemen, I want to see what they do, because we build for the future. Everybody wants to build for now, but you also got to build for here and now and then later on. Because if these guys pan out, those draft picks become, again, valuable to get a predominantly better player at another position. A lot of guys are leaving this team next year, and I'd rather have Billy Price than Kenny Wiggins. I'd rather have this guy from the Ravens who they like and got rid of because they have Kevin Zeitler, right?
I hope that G Nation's right. Like Roland Hernandez talks to the boys and they come out rocking. You know what I'm saying? They're like, let's prove something to you guys. You know what I'm saying?
You think Galladay plays week 1?
Better.
I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think
he's had a pretty bad history with the hamstring.
But I mean, do you pretend that he's out? Like, what are they going to do? Because Galladay is a big part of the season, right? I mean, if Tony doesn't play, let's say Tony doesn't play, who else do you got out there that's going to make plays?
Well, no, I mean, even in when they were doing their own thing and getting together and practicing, it was Galladay and Daniel Jones. It was Slayton and Daniel Jones, Shepard and Daniel Jones. So they have built the most chemistry together as far as receiver and quarterback. So if he's not ready to go and Kadarius Toney hasn't really been on the field, then you're left with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, which is what we had last year.
Exactly. And Slayton better just ball out and not drop balls. And
I was going to say that, Zion.
Yeah, and number 3 better perform like he did, Mr. Third Down. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
We definitely need Evan Engram to step up too and catch the balls this year.
And Rudolph is going to be out there, right?
I don't know if he's really going to be out there. That foot surgery is real recent.
I mean, Barkley being out there. I mean, we need our. If you don't have Barkley out there, we're going to need some production out of our running back in the passing game, because that's going to be Daniel Jones checked out, right? So that's why I'm a little worried about getting rid of Clement, because I liked the juice he had in his leg.
That's
when
what
he
I was
got
just about to
the ball. So to have I'm sorry, what?
No, sorry. I was just about to ask what you guys' thoughts on Clement being cut, but continue.
Oh, I'm disappointed because I like the juice that he. I liked what he had. I'm a little disappointed that Brightwell took a spot. I'm excited because it's a draft pick, but I'm also disappointed because Clement brought a little bit of a different element for me.
And a veteran presence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like the rookie running back, and he could catch.
Yeah, I do, but I think Clement in the preseason outplayed him personally.
Well, he should have. He's a veteran.
And you could have probably stashed Gary Brightwell on the practice squad, right? I mean, or got rid of Gillespie and still kept Brightwell, Because Gillespie is doing nothing but playing special teams, and if Nate Ebner comes back, he probably is gone anyways, or Sam Beal. One of the two guys is probably gone. And I like Penny as a short yardage back. He showed me something in the preseason, like maybe we should give him the ball every once in a while.
Oh yeah, definitely goal line and 4th and 1, stuff like that.
He did have a 1 yard, like they gave him the ball, the handoff, and he got the first down. I thought that was kind of clever. I want to see a little bit more power from this team. Run downhill, get Barkley some lanes. Don't do too much zone blocking. Just man up and let him find a hole and go.
Yeah.
We got Pettis. Pettis will be on the field. He likes catching balls. He's a good catcher, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was kind of scratching my head about skills, because like he ran out there and he tried, he played his butt off for but we didn't keep him on the roster, which was pretty surprising to me. But
it's not the last you've seen of Sills. Either he'll be on the practice squad or he'll be on another team. Playing against us. But he put enough work on film.
Like you were saying,
maybe he makes the team. Remember, they're going to IR guys because they can't. They're going to have short-term IR. I don't know how well Ross is, right? If he is still out, you got a short-term IR, period. And be like, listen, get your hammy ready. We'll get you in week 3 when we need you for punt returns. And then you can bring back like a guy like Sills, right?
Yeah, because I was thinking like if Ross Galladay and Tony doesn't see the field, then we're gonna who do we have? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What's
up, Big Pat,
man. How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's Gucci?
You're in our thoughts, man. How you doing?
Yeah, cool, man. It's like going through things, man. Trying to move to Dallas. Got the little apartment and everything, so that's why I ain't been
going through hurricanes and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I still gotta go back and get my computer and everything, so that's why I ain't been doing anything.
Well, you're in enemy territory now, man.
I was just about to say that. Behind enemy lines, spying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Give us the intel, man. Give us the
intel.
You need to be recording their practices.
Aren't you going over there? Get your media credential, Pat. Let's go.
Pat's taking it serious on his new assignment in Dallas.
Yeah, there you go. We're throwing it down to Big Pat Sports.
Well, I just tuned in. You guys were talking about David Sills. I was kind of disappointed he didn't make the team. Hopefully, we can get him back on the practice squad. I doubt it.
Somebody gonna pick him up on the waiver, yeah.
I hope not.
What do y'all think about Ojedebo not making the team?
Yo.
If Fadi Odenigbo, I
Yeah.
was shocked about that, bro.
Well, I'm kind of
was
excited because I didn't know how to
about that.
pronounce his name, so I didn't want to have to pronounce that name every time he made it.
The
what I
G
mean?
is
I'm just
silent.
kidding.
It's Odenigbo.
No, they usually have a long name defensive player on their team. Osi Umenyiora, Matthias Kiwanuka, Odenigbo. It would have fit right in.
Why do you think he? Well, I told you guys that Raymond Johnson guy was gonna make
Oh
the team.
yeah, Patrick. We talked
Raymond
about him
Johnson the
before.
third, yeah.
When I seen him first play, I was like, that guy's gonna make the team, man. That guy's a beast, man.
You watch his film; he's got a great first step.
And Ellison
Yes,
Smith
yeah.
has been banged up, so he might end up on the pup list, and we might end up bringing the Fadi back. You never know.
You said who's been
That's
banged
actually a
up?
good point. I didn't think about that.
Ellison Smith has been banged up all mini camp and all preseason, so we might be able to put him on the IR.
List. He's gonna go on IR.
I think he'll be on IR, and we can bring possibly a Fadi Odenigbo back or a good offensive lineman somewhere off waivers.
I hope so, man.
I was just
Because
gonna say,
all over Twitter, they're still talking about they're still looking for linemen and calling teams for linemen.
I'm a head off. I have to wake up early. Pat, I know you're moving and stuff. It's been a long time, so I've been wanting to talk to you too. So I've wanted to shout on you. I know you just arrived, but thanks for having me on G Nation, and everybody
No
go
doubt,
sub
brother.
up to everybody here, and you guys have a blessed evening. Giants for life. Let's
Yes,
get it.
sir.
Zion, man, good talking to you. Good seeing you as always.
Good talking to you, Adam. Let's get it.
Miz, what's good, Miz?
What's good? What's good?
So, Pat, let's get a couple more of your takes on the 53. What your thoughts are on some of the positions. I know Zion was putting up the team, but if you got a roster in front of you or you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Did he freeze? He froze?
What
He
happened?
out? Damn, I scared him off asking them a question. Or are they just leaving? Nah, man,
I
but
don't know what happened.
I don't know about Odenigbo. I hope Odenigbo gets to come back because Trent Harris doesn't do anything for me. He doesn't move the needle. And I thought the versatility that Odenigbo brought inside and outside would have made him a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought he was a lock. I thought Odenigbo was a lock.
They talked him up like he was a lock, right? They were like, "Oh, we got this guy from Minnesota, 7.5 sacks, blah blah blah."
Look at this. Look at all this hate. Y'all, I'm gonna keep these receipts. This is a live stream. I'm gonna keep these receipts.
They don't have a good QB, says the guy who paid Dak Prescott more money than he's worth.
Listen, yeah, I know, Zach. You don't want to have this conversation because Dak Prescott is a glorified backup at best. Okay, he's 5-11 against teams that are over 500. So don't
Get
talk to
him.
me about a bad QB. First of
Get
all,
him.
second of all, y'all haven't been to a Super Bowl in 26 years. That's over
Get
a
him.
quarter of a century. Okay,
Get
y'all
him.
still talking about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. Get
Get
out of
him.
here. You probably wasn't even alive when they scored a touchdown. Get off
Get
my screen
him.
with that garbage.
Get him.
Let's
Wow.
talk about. Have you guys talked about the offensive line yet?
People
We've
crazy.
been talking about offensive line all night, but Pat, go right
Look at
ahead.
this.
Keep
Look
it
at
going.
this. We talk about the team that got rid of a quarterback for standing up and talking about what he believes in. Really? Yeah, don't talk to me. Y'all got Jimmy G as y'all quarterback. You need to be talking to Joel.
Oh my God.
Joel.
Jimmy G is not the answer, but are you
If
guys?
y'all thought Bad Dog was known for giving Philly the business, oh, y'all need to hop on my channel. Because I'm going to skewer Philly and make shish kebabs out of y'all. And I'm going to chop up the Dallas Cowboys and serve y'all up like some Texas barbecue. Y'all better
Right.
get out of here.
Yo,
Y'all
I can try
ain't,
to talk about-
y'all ain't messing with G Nation.
G Nation, can you pull up Zach's last comment, please?
Which one? This one here?
Cowboys.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys have corners that would be cornerback number 13s on our team, so I wouldn't be talking, big dog.
First of all, Kenny Galladay is better than everybody on y'all team. Maybe Amari Cooper or CD Lamb.
This got personal real quick.
Yeah, he didn't like the fact that I told him that they haven't been to a Super Bowl in over a quarter of a century.
They don't want to hear that. They're like, "Oh, what have you done for me, guys?"
Yeah, never mind the fact that only one team in the entire league has more championships than us, and that's not the Patriots. That's the Green Bay Packers, and they only have us beat by 1. We've made more championship appearances than any other team in the NFL.
Yes.
Well, now the Patriots and Pittsburgh are tied with Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, Super Bowl wins. I'm talking about total when there was NFL championships and Super Bowl championships combined. We have 13. And Green Bay has 14.
I think the Bears are close too. I think the Bears got like 10 or 9.
Yeah.
Remember, Detroit used to be good back in the day.
Oh my God!
Man. Back in the day when we were never born, none of us were born when they were good.
He said the Niners are better. Really? Yeah. Blackballing players. The Niners are better at blackballing quarterbacks.
Look what the 49ers finished with last year.
Look what Zach just said, bro.
5-11.
Gallup is better than Galladay. Everyone knows what this dude is smoking. He on meth.
The Giants have no talent. Okay, keep that same energy.
Close to a chip in the last 20 years. They have no talent in at least 20 years, huh?
That's
a lot. Well, that means you'll be 40. That means you'll be 45 years then, right? Because you haven't seen one since 1995. So that means you'll be 45 years.
We go 20 years.
You'll have grandkids, and maybe you'll see the Cowboys win something.
Right.
This dude just said that Dak is a top 5 QB.
Bro, you're 5-11 at teams that are 500 or better. Tell me how that's a top 5 quarterback. Tell me how that's a top 5 quarterback.
That's it.
Please, listen. Had Tony Romo never got hurt, Dak Prescott would have bounced around from team to team as a backup quarterback. Let's get that straight. Okay? They signed him all that money because the next draft class didn't have no QB talent. And Jerry Jones is an idiot. Let's just be honest.
I did this mathematics recently, and in the last 25 years, the Giants have won more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys have. So you want to talk about the history of being good right now. In the last 25 years, the Giants have went on 2 Super Bowl runs. The Cowboys have been to the playoffs 3 times and won maybe twice.
Well, actually, we've been to 3 Super Bowls since then. So we got many Super Bowl appearances as they do playoff wins.
Right. If you want to, yes, in the last 25 years, we do. Right. They haven't sniffed anything, not even a championship game.
Oh, they sniffed a lot of things. That's how they won them championships. Let's not forget all of Michael Irvin's run-ins with the cops for sniffing cocaine. Let's be honest. That's the only thing they were sniffing because they ain't sniffed no trophies in a minute. You got that,
they're the Cowboys. That's what they are. That's who they are. That they come with the territory. It's like the Lakers, right? Except the Lakers have better history. They have more championships. But, you're always going to have the hype. We'll see what happens.
This guy needs to do. He needs to go jump in the lake. Cool his mind off talking that reckless nonsense.
Okay, so you beat us 36-9, and you still were a top 10 draft pick. High five.
When we were in the middle of a pandemic in a rebuild with a rookie quarterback, rookie line that had no all of that.
All you have to say, you ended up top 10 in the draft. Okay, don't tell me. Don't tell me that you beat us 36-9 when you were on the same golf course we were. Thank you very much. You were playing golf with Daniel Jones, Jimmy G, and Daniel Jones were chumming it up on the same golf course. Why? Because you didn't make the playoffs. So unless you got a ring or unless you make the playoffs, I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah, they crazy. They done called in the wrong live stream talking that nonsense.
Oh my God.
I just don't want to hear nothing. Well, they got you going off. I'm just saying.
Huh?
They got you going off.
Zach just said, what are you even saying? Fact. That's what we're saying, bro.
What am I even saying? Let me slow it down so you can hear it between your head. Okay. In the last 25 years, that's 2-5, last 25 years, y'all have done nothing. We've been to 3 Super Bowls and more playoff victories in the last 25 years, but you want to traipse around here like you're America's team. Well, you're America's not team, okay? Because you ain't got no stars, you haven't done nothing, and Jerry Jones needs to get more of a facelift because it looks like he's a little tired of losing, all right? You got Mike McCarthy as your head coach. Oh, he's great. Okay, you want to sit here and talk to me about my team? You got me livid. I'm tired of Cowboy fans telling me all the time, well, we won 5 Super Bowls. Great. Half you Cowboy fans weren't even alive when that happened.
Raiders, you're not even going to score 20 points against our defense.
Hold up. Listen. Raiders, please don't talk to me until you get rid of your coach.
Hey, man, Las Vegas.
And Zach, I can't put up stuff on the stream. This isn't my stream.
Oh, you know Zach?
I don't know Zach at all. He said Logan is scared to put my comment up. Dude, this isn't my stream.
What comment?
I don't know, man.
Which one? This one?
I don't know.
Fax the Raiders? Where's their fax number? You can go fax the Cowboys and how they lose.
The Raiders have John Gruden as their coach. That's enough said.
Thank you.
I mean, I have no problems with the Raider fans. You know, I don't care.
No, but they said they was going to beat us by 20 points. Now, see, really, I agree with you, Adam. I don't have no grudge with them. They're not in our division. They're not.
Well, I mean, I'm not worried about an AFC West
team. Dallas
team.
Cowgirl fans who drive me crazy with this America's team crap. America's team ain't been in the championship game in 26 years.
Listen, the Raiders
So
haven't
maybe
done
they need to be
anything.
called South America's team.
The last time the Raiders were good was in 2002 when they were getting their butts kicked by Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. Okay, they haven't been good at all. So I'm not worried about the Raider fans. You know what? If you guys win, cool. Your stadium's kind of cool, but it only holds 50,000 people, which is kind of like, you know, I was hoping it would hold a little bit more for that cool stadium.
He said, "Who is the Giants coach?" Laughing my ass off. I'm assuming that you was responding to me talking about get rid of your coach. Your coach Gruden only has a Super Bowl off of Tony Dungy's merit.
Hey, you know, they have a doll. It's called Chucky. They're after your coach. You know, you can make fun of. I mean, I'm not worried about the Raiders coach, man. What have you done? What has John Gruden done for me lately? Don't worry, I'll wait.
John Gruden was supposed to be a QB guru.
He is a delivery man.
Oh,
He's going to deliver the
delivery man.
NFC East. He's going to deliver the NFC East to the New York Football Giants while y'all sitting at home watching us play.
That was funny, though.
That's what's going to happen.
When he delivers a Super Bowl and Dak Prescott's still sitting on the bench, y'all remember that comment.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to find a trade partner for Dak Prescott within the next.
Man, I just love it. I hate the 49ers so much.
There you go. I'm with you, Jason Solo. And y'all better.
But you know, the other thing is, it's like rivalries were cool when we were in the 80s.
We ended Joe Montana's career over there.
I put your comment up, bro.
Made him go to the Chiefs.
Right. I mean, like the 80s and 90s for these particular ball clubs was their golden eras, right? They're still trying to find that. 49er fans are talking, but they haven't won anything in the last few years. They got rid of the best coach they had in John Harbaugh, all right? After he left, it's been downhill. Kyle Shanahan got into the Super Bowl and choked. So, you know, and they haven't
brings up a great point. Me and Pat was watching the draft. We were streaming during the draft together. And we both looked at each other when John Gruden got Alex Leatherwood in the first round.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so that was a great point, Chris, because that was something we touched on draft night.
Remember when the Raiders took 3 safeties in one draft?
Remember when the Raiders took Jamarcus Russell?
Oh my God.
One of the biggest draft busts in NFL history.
Remember when the Raiders took Darius Hayward, Bay?
Over Akeem Nicks. What an idiot.
Yeah.
And they guys want to talk stuff about us. Get out of here, man.
They took Robert Gallery.
The thing is this. I don't want anybody that's talking shit if you didn't make the playoffs, because right now you're in the same boat as us. You maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more games than us, but you didn't do anything. You're still at home. You know, like Miami went 10-5. They're not in the playoffs. Big whoop. Okay.
Look what Zach just said. This is the most disrespectful dude I've seen on YouTube.
Yo, listen. Fam, you don't know me, so really don't play that game with me. Don't play that game with me. First of all, I have current jerseys. Loser, far from it. And if you want to take it to the hands, I can prove it. Don't get your ass whooped over an internet chat, little boy. Fuck your whole life up for real. Let's sit your ass down somewhere. Let's sit your ass down somewhere. Go do some homework or something. You talking to a grown-ass man. Get your whole life fucked up.
More up-to-date jersey. What do you want him to get?
I have a Saquon Barkley jersey.
I mean, that's up to date. Saquon Barkley. What is he dusting off the Troy Aikman jersey? And wants to be up to date.
I just felt like putting on the throwback. Hey,
I'm sorry, he doesn't know greatness. You know, he doesn't have. He can go watch greatness, an up to date jersey. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I have signed jerseys, my dude. Like
because if you have a jersey that's an LT jersey, why is it up to date? You're rocking greatness. That's like rocking a Michael Jordan jersey and be like, getting up to date jersey, bro. Like you're rocking Michael Jordan on your
back.
That's
let me know he was a child. That's why I told him go do some homework. I'm
just saying, you know, that's kind of. I mean, you know.
Listen,
Tudo. What's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you popping
over there in Italy.
Tudo.
Everyone wanted to no, only Al Davis wanted Russell. Why? Because he could throw 60 yards on his knee. Everybody else was nope, thank you.
You the same team that drafted Robert Gallery.
Listen, this Niners fan is killing me because if I recall, the last Super Bowl the Giants went to, we beat y'all in the NFC Championship to get there.
Again. This is a what have you done for me lately league. What have the 49ers done besides be 6-10 last year? 5-11? You were the same record. Before you call us ass, look yourself in the mirror because you're just as booty as we are. You're not in the playoffs. Don't come at me unless you're in the playoffs. Because you can tell me about stats and players until you get a ring or until you build something, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah, keep your convo right there, Zach. Keep it football. Because you're disrespected, end up somewhere else.
Victor has no such skill. No. That the point is you can rock a jersey from a player that was great on a great team. All right? Don't tell me you can't hold a candle to Michael Jordan. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, buying a jersey every year. Maybe his favorite player is Victor Cruz. Maybe he knows Victor Cruz. Maybe that's a signed jersey by Victor Cruz. That's what he's doing. He's representing his team. It has nothing to do with being an up-to-date jersey. What you need to do is get up-to-date facts.
Did he just ask who has more Super Bowls? Wait. Did he just ask who has more Super Bowls? We have the same amount.
No, we don't.
Oh, the 49ers have 5.
But if he really wants the question answered, the Patriots and Pittsburgh have the most Super Bowls. So if you want to throw that out there, get your facts straight too. You're not even top 10. You know, you're not even the number 1. So you're tied with the Cowboys, and there's a couple other teams that are ahead of you. So yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, the Patriots. Then there's the 49ers.
I mean, how many Super Bowls have the Patriots been to in their history? A lot more than the 49ers. The Patriots have been to 11. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah, that's a stupid argument.
I'm just saying, people want to talk about this is what I'm talking about. Everybody wants to talk about
Logan, tell your friends to go do some homework.
Bro. I've never seen these guys.
He said Logan's scared to put my comment up. So
this isn't even in my stream, cuz.
All I'm saying is when you have an argument about history, like great. Like all right, that's history, bro. Like, what about the here and now? And you can't even talk about the here and now because that's it. You ain't done nothing. Oh, well, you won a Super Bowl. When's the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl? You guys weren't even born.
Zach, just stay off the weed.
1994, Steve Young against Stan Humphries, San Diego versus San Francisco. He threw 6 touchdowns in that game. That's the last time he won the Super Bowl. And ask me again, because I know all the Super Bowl winners and losers from 94 all the way up until now. So that is fact. So until you win a Super Bowl, don't be talking about how many you got.
They worse off than the Cowboys.
The Cowboys went right after them after taking Jimmy Johnson's team with Barry Switzer to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's like what Lou said about John Gruden and Tony Dungy, right? Tony Dungy built up the Bucks. John Gruden came in and just, happened to hit the lotto, right? Hit the jackpot.
That was really Tony Dungy's team.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what Barry Switzer was with Jimmy Johnson. That was really Jimmy Johnson's team, and Barry Switzer was just along for the ride,
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to talk history, let's have fun talking history, but don't use it against me as a weapon to try to say that you're better than me when you're really not, because you haven't done anything in the last 25 years.
You have one more Super Bowl than us, but when you factor in NFL championships before it was called Super Bowls and Super Bowls, we have more than y'all.
And a 49er fan, I don't know how old you are, but unless were born in the early 80s and late 70s, you didn't probably even see any of these Super Bowls.
Right.
Okay? So don't give me the Super Bowl argument unless you've seen one in your lifetime. I've had 4 in my lifetime. 2 I've witnessed firsthand. The other 2 I was too young to be around to know what football was. So I consider myself, knowing that they have 4 Super Bowls, I only seen 2. If you ain't seen none and you're just doing history, great. That's like the Yankees winning 27 championships. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Great. You have a trophy case collecting dust. Ain't nothing new in that case. Start shining some up. Maybe with a little bit more reason of a date than 1994. Coming at me.
Oh, man. Nothing in the world feels better than smack around stinky Eagles fans like ragdolls and show them who's the boss. And you won't see them smiling no more. Appreciate that, too, though. Might have to import you over here to smack up some fans.
Hey, well,
I mean, just, it's funny because people like to throw the history out. And I'm like, half you guys don't even know the history. You're just throwing it out there. Did you study the teams? Especially if you're a young guy. I don't know about you, Logan. I don't know how deep you went back, with your Giant fanhood. Like, I know your dad's a big fan, so I don't know what he taught you or what you've learned over your years of research. But when I was your age, I knew that Super Bowls were a big thing, for that team, and going back and learning. I mean, I did a whole presentation in high school on LT, right? That's how obsessed I was about learning my fandom. Did I ever say, "Oh, we got 2 Super Bowls"? No, I just learned the history. So if you know the history, talk about it. If not, have fun with Mike Lennon.
You guys are trying to play 2 quarterbacks. Get out of here. Don't even talk to me.
I mean, it's funny to talk smack. They can't even get our quarterback right. Have fun getting our quarterback right.
They won't get the quarterback position right because they're cursed for what they did to Cap.
Well, I mean, I'm not really worried about that guy. He wasn't really that good to begin with, so
Really, to be honest with you, he was a backup during the time. So.
He really wasn't that good. He really wasn't. He just ran the ball and ran that offense well. But then he, was about to lose his job and things happened. But I'm not getting into him. All I'm saying is, what have you done for me lately? You picked number 3 in the draft because you don't have faith in your quarterback, and you want to talk about mine? Come on.
You said they picked number 3.
Right, number 3. You went up to number 3 to get your franchise guy. For Jimmy G.
We were number 11. So y'all were worse than us.
I don't know about that. Well, they technically traded up to that spot. Remember, they were like 6 or something.
Paul Cam?
No, they were 14.
Were they 14?
Yeah.
Well, they're 3 ahead of us. So they didn't make the playoffs.
Y'all call Cam.
What about Cam?
No, they said we should call Cam. I said y'all call Cam. If by any chance you come across any Eagles fans with missing front teeth, you bet they've definitely had a taste of Italy, but certainly not cannolis. Oh, dude, it was crazy.
So the 49ers went 6-10 last year, the same record we were. And he wants to talk smack? Thank you. Sorry. I don't give a damn about the best division of football. He went 6-10.
That's all right. They won't be laughing for long. They won't be laughing for long. But guys, I got to work in the morning.
All right, man.
It's late over here. I appreciate all you guys popping in the stream.
Thanks for having us. It was real fun.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
This was a good stream. It's been a while since I've enjoyed a long live stream like that. Pat, you need to get your computer ASAP.
Yeah, man. I got to go back to Louisiana, get all my stuff, man.
Oh, well, God bless you. We're praying for
you first.
Yeah, we're praying for you and hope everything went well or is doing well for you and your family. It's a trying time for everybody, and I'm just glad you're here to talk with us. You're going through all this, so that means a lot. to pop on a stream, and I just want to say it was good seeing you, man.
Yep, I should be back up and running within the next couple of weeks, man.
I missed you on that game, man. I was like, man, I wanted to pop in on your preseason stream, but I didn't get.
I wanted to pop on that one too because the starters were playing, but woo, I'm glad.
I was like, man, I gotta get off that stream, man.
I would have been getting on Andrew Thomas' ass and Matt Pert in that game.
It would have been fun.
Got to get that fixed, man. They got to get that.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, you guys.
All right, have a good one.
Now, how do you? Okay.
Just press N last.